left for my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bar. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? Welcome to another Tuesday night Hangout Live. Tonight, I have a friend of mine, fellow gold. Well, compared to me, I'm just a recreationalist, prospector, and dredger. My friend Bryan Wilders, he's pretty hardcore dredger, dredged all around the country, been behind the nozzle in the Bering Sea and behind the camera on Bering Sea under the ice, and uh, you all know American Gold Prospectors. He's in the chat right now, but we have the one and only Steve Riedel from Bering Sea Gold joining us tonight. It is going to be a really, really, really big show. Um, I see some great people in the chat. Rocky Mountain Prospector. Hey, Brad, how are you? Graveyard Prospecting. Like I said, give me a message on FB or something and we'll get you on. I think I'm booking for March, April, March, May right now. So, um, all good, buddy. Hot Mess Fishing. Hello. How are you? Excellent, I hope. Isaiah, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Also, who else we have in here? GoPro Unlimited, good to see you, Jeff. David Alfonzati, hello, hello, hello. Moto Mining, my Canadian friends. Ron F. Prospecting and Outdoor Adventures, good to see you, brother. Yeti, how you doing, Yeti Mountain Trading? Good to see you, Chris. RT, hello, hello, hello. Um, all I don't know if I can stop Steve from touching anything. I think my studio's safe though. Um, who else is in here? White Gold, good to see you, my friend Rob. I see we have Coast to Coast in here. Rob Prospecting. Excellent. Eric Carter, good to see you, brother. Say hi to your boy for me. Um, get on the river, I hope, next year with you two again. That'd be great. And welcome back as a channel member, Chillin' and Grillin' Adventures with Dan B. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. Um, any, well, I think we'll take it to the other studio and or the other set and get this party started. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. With your host, Ed Marvin. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is a Flash in Your Pan production.
Anger management's what it is. There's no management to his anger, you know.
And we're live, everybody.
Oh.
Welcome, Bryan. And good to have you back on Tuesday Night Hangout Live. And thank you for being my guest co-host, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And Steve, thanks for joining us. I hope you're not driving right now.
No, it's all. I'm parked right now. I got my seatbelt off, and so I'm just hanging out, being safe. I just happen to be in my car right here at the witching hour, and I'll just endure here in the parking lot of Safeway.
Well, we'll work with you here when you have to drive again. We'll try not to be a distraction to you.
Okay. So yeah, well, it's not. I'm glad to be here. I love to work with Bryan, and he made my time with Vernon somewhat palatable. Yeah, Vern's a curmudgeon. Bryan's such an easygoing guy. He just wants to get the gold. There's not a whole lot of ego that needs to get in the way.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, doesn't need to get in the way. So, I'm sure there's a big ego there somewhere hiding, Bryan, but it doesn't get in the way of you just focusing on the project at hand, which is in Nome, Alaska. It's getting the gold. It's not worth being there for much else.
That's what I've heard. That's
Name
what
of
I've
the game in
heard.
Nome.
Name of the game.
So hey, I have a big question. How did you even get started in Nome? Probably because of Emily, I would imagine. But let's hear the story. Let's hear about how you wound up being from just Steve Riedel to the gold getting Steve Riedel of Nome, Alaska.
Well, in 2010, Zeke was asking everyone to go gold mining with him next year to 11. And everybody in Homer got an invitation, and Emily and I and Grant Wilkins took the charge up, and we went up there. I had my own reasons, and it's a long story, and I won't get into it, but I went up there knowing absolutely nothing about gold, and really Zeke didn't know that much at all either, because he'd only got a half a season in. This was his second season. Our season was only his second, and he didn't know, and so we were all learning. I'd never been in a wetsuit, so I'd never hookah dove or worked on any of that equipment, and so when I hooked Zeke up with Vernon, because I knew Vernon liked gold mining, and I went to Vernon looking for a loan for the Ranger. And yeah, because I had the Ranger first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just a sailboat. It was a racing catamaran, and I went to Vernon because I know he was loaded, and I said, Vernon, I've got this friend, and he's in mining, and he's going help me build this boat? Can I borrow? Not enough money to do this. I had to totally stank.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Oh, I would have fallen. I would have run out of money in the middle of the season. It was, I didn't know anything about what I was doing. Absolutely nothing. And so Vernon got a hold of Zeke, and he had Zeke he bought it. He bought the boat. He bought and anyway, so we went up kind of together. I was going to be co-captain of the Ranger with Grant, the red-haired guy.
Yep.
And we helped build that boat. And then middle of building it, well, he fired us, and then I don't know, it all crazy. It's all crazy right there in the beginning.
So was that boat, was it just a regular boat, or did it was it already a dredge, or did you kind of have to figure out how to make a dredge? Or
Well, we took a sailboat and made it. Actually, it was Zeke. Zeke did most of the early work. It's basically taking a catamaran racing sailboat to turn it into a dredge.
Oh, wow. I totally forget. Was that on the show? Because I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The original Ranger was I think the only Wild Ranger, was that converted catamaran, and he put it went for so many modifications from that. It got another set of pontoons, and got a cab, and then it got bigger and more engines and bigger engines and
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll check that out. So that was season 1?
Yeah, that was season 1, and you'll see me. I'm diving, and the transmission's all wrong. It's only really producing 20 horsepower. So I stick my hand right in front of the nozzle, and I'm doing this, coaxing the sand in, just to show everybody that it's crazy. We don't have enough horsepower. Our system's wrong, but we're down here filming anyway.
Yeah. How was it on your first dive? Was it scary? Like just your first jumping off the boat and just sinking down to the bottom of the ocean?
Oh, and a big current too. 6-knot current. Yeah.
Was it freaky? Were you nervous?
6-knot current. That's a pretty good current.
More excited than nervous.
Oh, okay.
Shush, I'm on TV. Shush. Yes, you can.
You carting the grandkids around today?
Yeah, I got 2 of them in the back there. They're eating ice cream or something.
Oh, there you
yogurt.
go.
Life happens. It is only, what, 5:15 in Alaska right now?
4:15.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're 4 hours behind us. That's right.
Oh, okay. See, there you go. Yeah. So anyway, the early times, that first season was crazy learning curve, because Emily pretty much was a newbie. I was a newbie, and Zeke had, as I say, he had about a half a season of gold mining. And Vernon, of course, he's Vernon. He's going 100 miles an hour, and not really knowing what he's doing, but hoping people, would heave too. And Zeke knew an excellent fabricator up there, and he really helped us. Yeah.
So is that when Vernon hired what's a guy that got mad a lot at that first season?
Meisterheim.
Meisterheim.
Yeah,
was that the same year Meisterheim started? Scott Meisterheim.
Scott.
Because you wound up working
no,
right?
Scott was after Mike. Mike was this gold miner that he somehow got Vernon's ear, and so he decided to hire him. And the contract was he got like $300 a day, and until the boat went in the water, and then the money ran out. And so when he came aboard, the first thing he did was get rid of me and Grant, because we were in the way. And then he started partying, and he used Vernon's place because Vernon was gone. And
Yeah.
he used Bern Place's Party Central. He was getting money from Bern. He wasn't doing any work and just having a ball. And then Vernon kind of got wind of it. And then we were kind of forcing ourselves back into the project, working for free, both of us. And we finished and got the boat in the water.
Mm.
And then Vernon decided to change engines. So we went from a known system to a system that only had half of a horse, just 10 horsepower a 20 horsepower transmission.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a 40 horsepower engine with a 20 horsepower transmission.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, to the pump.
That's not good for those strong currents.
Yeah, it would burn out if you ask more than like 20 horsepower. The belts would shred.
Oh man.
Well,
Jeez.
I was just getting over a current of under the Bering Sea of 6 knots. That's like 36 miles an hour, right? A knot six.
No. It's like 7 miles an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's even
Yeah.
more than 30. I thought a knot was like 6 miles an hour.
No, 1.15.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No,
Oh, I'm thinking of a fathom. A fathom is 6 feet, right?
6 feet is the fathom. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't having a
Then
blind
he got
moment.
nautical miles. He got all types of weird stuff. Actually, Steve knows all this stuff really good because he's a pilot, so you deal in knots a lot, right?
Yeah, we compute some things in knots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just think in knots. When I think in wind or current, I always think in knots. And yeah, the first time all the systems were up and Emily and Zeke and myself were going to do our first practice dive. Not Zeke, but the two of us. There was a big current, and Emily jumped in the water without knowing it. And so she just goes this way, and then we're all pulling her in and everything. And she got back on board, and it was like, oh my goodness, there's a big current down there. She was a little shaken up because there was no planning. But if you just thought about it, it was okay. We only were in like maybe 17 feet of water. So it was, once you got down to the bottom, you could handle the current.
Yeah.
So my first practice, I was next, and so I went down there and battled current, but he had a 40 horsepower motor on it. It was a little overpowered, so it did have a lot of powerful suction, and you had to watch out for that, But it was a great machine, the Clark. That was my first machine with there.
Okay, yeah, I remember the Clark on the show.
Yeah.
When you guys were first there, though, there wasn't very many dredgers out there, right? Not until the show kind of started. Then the whole came.
Oh yeah, just a handful. There were like maybe 6 or 7 that would somebody up there in Nome would be working on. I think there were maybe the real strong professional ones. The 10 inchers with 70 horsepower. There were 2 of those running, so there was some serious gold mining going on. There might have been even 3 of them. I don't know. But
and then after they filmed the show and released it, next couple of years, right, there's a whole army of people that came, like a gold rush.
Yeah, like a gold rush.
I bet.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I think 30 of them anyway. 30.
Jeez, wow.
That's my guess. Yeah, 30. Oh. Yeah, we all got our asses kicked too, even me.
So hey, when you first went up there, did they film you from day one? So how was it like the first time? Cameras came up to you and mic'd you up and did all that. How was that experience?
Well, we'd been mining. Zeke, Emily, and I had been mining for 2 weeks. And we were approached by Original Productions Discovery.
So you were mining before you were even hired as a crew?
Oh yeah, I was a real miner.
I thought OP brought you up there.
No, 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 no. Oh no,
Oh,
we went up
oh,
there
wow.
totally ignorant of the television.
Oh,
Totally
so you
ignorant.
were there before TV and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
damn.
we were there
Oh, I
before
didn't know that.
TV.
I thought you went up
Yeah.
because of TV.
No,
Huh.
oh no, no, no,
Okay,
no.
okay.
That was yeah, they oh man, I can't forget the man's name. He's there's a some anyway, someone had gotten Original Productions to come up with a crew and start filming. And we had been there for 2 weeks, and they showed up about a week later, and they were asking everyone that they saw, would you like to be on TV? Would you like to be on TV? And just that. And then that guy pointed us out, and the TV came over and asked us, would we like to be on? It was like, oh, what the heck? What could go wrong? Or it was
Yeah,
like, yeah, that sounds exciting. Something to do, something different. So there we go. They plugged it in. They started obedience training right away.
so that was it. So they came up to you and like, hey, you want to be on TV? And you're like, hell yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this. Exactly. Just
What
yeah,
they do?
let's do it.
They started rigging up your boat with cameras and everything. And
The cameras on the boat. They didn't do. Gosh darn, it's hard to say. I don't know if there was a fixed camera on the boat the first year.
oh, okay,
Maybe by the middle of the season, end of season. You see, um, we started filming, and they did. They started filming us, and after a while, Scott Meisterheim got too aggressive with me, and I just quit.
hmm.
And so I was gone by middle of season or something, or well, doing something else. I started gold mining with somebody else, not
Okay,
on Meisterheim's, not on Vern's boat. So I went to another boat. Was kept
yeah,
my and started doing things. And
like help Zeke or Emily or something, right?
no, it was Mike Benshaw actually.
Oh, okay. Huh. Well, that's funny. I thought all you guys like made a deal with OP, then went to Nome. I didn't know you.
No, 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 no. The
All you
OP,
guys are working. Oh, wow. Huh.
yeah, yeah.
So Vernon
Um,
was up there. You were up there. Emily and Zeke.
Yeah. So
You,
yeah. So
you approached them.
Vernon was kind of the money man, and then Zeke was sort of the only experienced guy that got us into it.
Yeah.
And then we started meeting more shady gold miners. Vern did, and kept going because he'd learned something or some from some gold miner about something, and he kept going. And then yeah, a couple. I think. About 2 or 3 weeks after we showed up in Nome, the TV showed up, and asked Vern too. They wanted to know if Vern wanted to come. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's all good. It was all we started it all.
So how
So
was it the first day that you got filmed? Was it like nerve wracking or
um
like the first day they mic'd you up and
yeah, it was well, it's hard not to, like be really super conscious of the camera, and you're being mic'd and all that. So yeah, it's memorable.
yeah.
Um I Well, you went through it, but my impression was, well, what's next? This is all an experience now. What are they doing? What are we doing? And so I had two things going on: new TV. I'd never known about TV ever, and I'd never known about gold mining. So I was having two new experiences at once.
Yeah, that's funny. Has anyone in
Yeah.
your family prospected before you went up there? Your
No,
father or
no,
grandfather? No. Huh.
no. I barely knew how to run a gold pan. I mean, I knew, we had them, Alaska, there's gold everywhere. So
Yeah.
you have them, and I have actually seen color in my gold pan, but I'd only done it like 5 times, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Cause
that's surprising. I thought that they hired you and
yeah,
brought you guys up there. Oh, wow.
no, we went up there on our own. I had, I had had a shoulder injury from working for FedEx. for 3 years. I was out of work. So I was like, this was like,
Okay.
I'm bankrupt. I'm
Yeah.
just going up there on a lark. And I couldn't find work, and my shoulder had pretty much healed. And um, there I was. The lightning struck, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you
Right
guys find
place, right time, huh?
Yeah, I was. I was at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Gold mining.
did you guys do pretty good your first season as far as gold? Did you guys find gold or
Uh, I, no, okay, so I had one really good dive on Zeke's boat,
Mhm.
and I found a place that it was a triangle that Paul Moranki had made where he missed. He got this angle of the triangle, this side of the triangle, and this side, and he left about a 50 square foot patch of gold. And it was ounce an hour. It was ounce an hour stuff. And with this little, and it was my first time really. I mean, everything else was practice. And
Yeah.
this is my first time really going down and being serious. And I found this patch and I sucked it all up. And I think the paycheck was like $3,000. It saved me. It saved me. And I would have been gone. I was broke, but
Yeah.
it saved me in Nome. It saved me to stay there because
Wow.
Discovery wasn't paying us. We were
Oh,
free.
you were
Yeah,
free
oh,
first year?
free. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're doing it for free.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's $3,000, man. Up and
Yeah,
especially
it
up
was.
in home, yeah.
Oh, it was like I was just eating ramen before that, and now I figure, well, I can survive here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, those
Yeah,
days when you go down and you actually see the gold going up the nozzle, those are good days.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was. You could see the gold right on the ground. Shush, you guys.
Wow. No, that's awesome. Huh.
Yeah, yeah. It was my best ever, and after you know, being on TV, it was. I didn't get much diving in, really, because it's between the equipment failures and, you got to be up top because the cameramen they didn't have cameramen down, they didn't have divers the first year.
Oh, they didn't have any camera divers?
No,
Oh, wow. And there's
no.
no GoPros back in 2010, right?
Well, no, we had the first model GoPro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
You just
those had the housings and stuff too. That's back when they were pretty susceptible to getting damage from water, because if the housing leaked, it's
oh yeah,
not
right,
like
yeah,
the gold GoPros we have now, Brian. So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I, you know, I don't recall any GoPros down. They gave us, like stuck it on. They did that later. They stuck the GoPro on the nozzle,
Yeah.
but I not the first year.
Yeah, they would give GoPros to me and on like this little tripod, and I would bring it down and then put it in the hole in front of me, and work and move it around.
Yeah,
You put them on your mask. Uh,
yeah,
you put them like under the boat, and there'd be GoPros like everywhere. We don't even know where they are. They're just I'll be
yeah.
climbing down the ladder and like under the boat, like he stuck one on with a magnet. There'll be a GoPro right there. Like, oh damn, I didn't even see that one. When you gotta go to the bathroom, you gotta look around. You try to
Yeah,
use the
you do.
and there's drones up, and you're like,
Yeah,
no, I'm trying to take a whiz over here. Leave me alone.
that's it. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but no, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely a fun experience. And you were on for what, 10 years or 8 years or something?
I on for 4, and then they had me back for 3, so 7
Wow,
total.
seven seasons.
Yeah.
Damn.
7 seasons. Yeah, I had a ball. I learned a lot about
Yeah.
people,
Oh yeah.
and got to work with a lot of really cool people and artists,
Who's the
real,
funnest
I mean,
who's the funnest team that you worked with?
oh, it's definitely
Probably Zeke, right?
well, as far as diving goes,
Yeah, as far as like being on their boat and diving and hanging and
well, Zeke wants to do all the diving himself, so I didn't get to dive on after that. See, that was just that one time. What boats I've been on that I get to dive, that would be, like, Jason Walker.
Okay.
He was fun to work with.
Yeah.
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 Jason was the funnest crewman I ever had. And then Chris Kelly was fun too.
Yeah.
Noisy, but fun. Yeah, I work with him, and yeah, he's fun.
Yeah, I think I remember when they very first went there, you were working with those guys, right? They had the
well,
small little Reaper dredge, I think, the little tiny one.
well, they were working on the minnow. They worked on the minnow at first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I kind of
Yeah, they dove on the minnow, and both Brad and Chris. I don't think Andy ever dove on the minnow.
yeah.
I don't think Andy was a diver back then. But anyway, Chris and Brad dove on it.
Yeah.
So, and then they built their own boat after that.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, there's all types of switching going around and moving, people moving from boat to boat, and it's kind of hard to keep track of.
Well, in the first year, they took over Vernon's shore mining operation. He had a beach mining operation. The Kellys did.
Okay.
And Vernon and his daughter were getting about an ounce a day.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's worth being, doing it. And then, but the Kellys they must be lazy or something. They only got a half ounce a day after that.
They probably put the other half in their pocket and only, we got an ounce today.
I won't make any judgment. So anyway, Vern fired him and kicked him out of his house, kicked him out of the trailer there at Nome.
Oh, okay.
And then they came up and lived with me at Steve's World.
Yeah, I remember Steve's World. Yep.
Yeah, they brought their tent up to Steve's World.
Shit. Yeah, that's when I think I remember weren't they giving you trouble and you called the cops on them? And oh no, that was Meisterham, right?
Meisterheim was threatening me and threatening, and I called the cops on him. And the cops they said can't do anything about it. He's Meisterheim after all.
Yeah. So if you had to work for either Meisterham or Vernon, whose boat would you?
Oh, Burns every time. He's fun to work with. He's noisy, but he's okay. I mean, you can't really take him seriously.
Yeah.
That's the key to.
I seen you guys. You guys are like best buddies.
Yeah, we are.
You guys, I could tell you guys are very secret best buddies.
Yeah, he's my secret best buddy. You want to go where are you going to go? Okay, do you want to go to Ulmer's? What for? Hannah, what do you need to go to? Oh, huh? Oh, the resume. Okay, yeah. Hey, can I have a 5-minute break or?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, let me take a 5-minute break. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm gonna pin you up, Brian.
Cool.
And I have some. I have some questions put in the Zoom chat for you that some people have put in. Change the size of the screen a little so it's better.
Wished.
It's 4 hours between us and Steve, so life goes on, everybody. So I'm sure he's driving back to get safe, and they're in Homer now, right? So hopefully you don't have to drive too far out of town. But
yeah, I think
you heard him 5 minutes.
Yeah, I just got the grandkids. I think they're shuffling the grandkids around today.
Yeah, well, Yeah, I don't know if you saw it. My granddaughter did her usual surprise attack with me while we're live, and um,
Yep.
so I
Cool.
had to let her sit on my lap and look at the chat room and stuff. Peanut Buddy, how you doing? And Heath Doty, I think I'll get your name right from now on, except when I call you Dottie. I appreciate all you being here tonight. I hope you're all enjoying the show with Steve Riedel as our guest and my guest co-host, Brian Wilder, which you all know. Uh, is Brian out of pay dirt yet for sale? No, he has a handful left. So you better
Yep.
get them while they're
Okay.
hot.
Um,
Limited
That for
edition.
today.
Hannah, just you go in. Don't you go in, Clara. Okay. All
So
right.
yeah, gold went up today. I think it's like 2040 or something.
Hey,
And
hurry, hurry, hurry.
when I made the pay dirt bags, it was only like
Okay,
2000
fine.
or like 1980 or something like that. So I already pre-made the bags for that day's gold price. So now it's worth even more.
Right, right. So you better get them now, cause hey, before he changes the next batch, So
Hey, I think we got Steve back.
hey,
I am back.
Gary
Yeah.
Simpson's in the chat room.
Oh, Gary's in here.
Hey Gary, how you
Gary,
doing, buddy?
crazy Gary.
All
Gary,
right.
what's up, Gary?
Let me unpin you. Our guest is back.
So we got a couple questions for you, Steve, from the chat.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I'll go down. This one's from Moto Mining. He says, I've heard there's a problem with getting paid if you're on a TV show. Did you ever get trouble getting paid when you're on the TV show?
Well, once they made a contract with me, and it was for Ice. The first season of Ice is the first contract they made. No, never.
But before
No.
that, you pretty much worked for free until you got a
Yeah.
contract.
The first year I worked for free. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just filmed me for free, and they said, this may or may not make a show. It may be a flop right away, and so you're going to have to risk a little bit of nuisance, people in your head, in your face. So, yeah.
All right, let's
Yeah.
see. This one's from Johnny Turtle. Hey guys, why do you rarely see the divers get their cut of the gold on camera?
Oh, good question. They never filmed that part. It was just the gross. They never filmed the divvying out of gold. Yeah, I mean they filmed it, but they never showed it.
Yeah.
But
To tell you
it
the truth,
definitely happened.
the 2 years I was working for Vern up there doing it, and we did the divvying up, but they actually
Yeah,
never filmed us divvying it up for some reason. They just wanted
yeah,
the total.
yeah.
Yeah. All
Huh.
right, this one's from Terry Curry. It says, Steve, what was your worst moment in Nome?
Well, what do you think? I should answer it, gold mining moment or on land moment?
Both. Let's do both. How about a
Oh my heavens!
mining worst
Uh,
moment?
yeah, yeah. I think the worst moment was running out of air at the end of 85 feet under ice, under
Ooh.
85 feet of a hose.
What happened?
We had a big long hose, and I was out at the end of it, and the metal fitting on the hose on my umbilical froze up. And yeah, so it was like, oops, and I hurry scurry, everything was working. I mean, I hadn't wrapped the umbilical around the hose or around the ladder or something like that. Everything was clear, and so I just scurried up the hose, like a squirrel, and surfaced.
That'd definitely be freaky.
Yeah, it was. I was, I look back and there was that body of knowledge available, but we just didn't avail ourselves of it about putting neoprene over your mask or like like when you're breathing, and you have a respirator freeze up, it'll give you some warning, you know. And we didn't have any of that information.
Just kind of learned it as you went, huh?
We learned it as it went. It was stupid. And I think, well, I think, you know, we were hanging the motor on the Ranger, the outboard motor on the Ranger, and Grant was in the water, basically holding on to the motor, and we sort of let it go, and we almost drowned him.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, well, he was holding on to the motor. It almost took him under and was going to fall on top of him. So
Damn.
we almost killed Grant. That was probably the worst moment on land.
Jeez.
You know, it was half inland, half on water, working on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost killing Grant working on the boat. That was another bad time.
I'm sure there's lots of bad times. Yeah. A lot of close calls, I'm sure. Let's see here. Um, why gold metal detecting adventures? So, what about the camera system that Vern has set up? Is that for safety or other reasons? Oh, that's probably from Vernon's. I think he's talking about the camera on the
Oh.
divers. So I guess I'll answer that one. That one's just Vernon has that on there. He just likes to see what the diver's doing, and plus, in case you lose communication, you can do hand signals. He just likes to watch, what's going on, and it's good for the TV guy too. When there's no camera down there, the TV camera guy, he'll focus in on the big TV that Vern has with the diver doing his thing. Let's see. That's all the questions for now. If anyone else has questions, keep them coming.
Yeah, make sure you tag me too so they jump out at me and I can relay them to Bryan. So Gary's giving you a hard time. Damn, Steve, I would think as much of hot air you blow, it would keep the regulator thawed out. Gary Simpson saying that. He said, just kidding, buddy.
It's the steam. It's my steam. You know.
Yeah, the hot air coming out.
Yeah.
Too much vapor in it.
Steam freezes.
Yeah, steam freezes.
So when you're not gold mining, you like to pilot, right? You got your own plane and
I have a little 2-seater airplane, all metal Luscombe. It's called a Luscombe 8E for those that might know. And it's the first airplane I've ever owned. I've been a pilot pretty much since I was 12.
Oh,
I think I learned how to fly when I was a kid.
I love flying.
It's a hoot.
I don't care what size of the plane either, Steve. Small, big.
How was it to get your license? Was it difficult to get a pilot?
If you're good, pretty much anyone that's healthy and can drive a car can fly an airplane. Pretty much. Yeah. There might be an issue or two that eliminates you, but for the most part, it's a matter of just setting your mind to it. That it's just focusing on it and diving deep. Getting into it and learning and being humble and following through, and you make a good pilot.
You got to take like classes and then get so much class time, and then
yeah, you take a college class. You learn about all the paperwork and some of the navigation, and then you take airplane skills, part where you fly the airplane, learn how to fly an airplane, and yeah, between the two, you get good enough, you fly around. Not hard.
What kind of trips have you made?
Well, I flew when I was 15. I flew from Portland to Fairbanks, Alaska.
Damn. Well, When you're
A
15?
nice flight.
Yeah, when I was 15. Well, I was with my dad.
Okay.
My dad and brother. Yeah,
Huh,
yeah. But I did a lot of the flying.
that's cool.
And then when I was 23, 20, 23, I flew from Anchorage, Alaska. Shush. I flew from Anchorage, Alaska to Fort Worth, Texas
Wow,
in a
that's
small
far.
plane.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it was far. And I got to do half the flying. I was a proficient pilot by then, and the owner of the plane let me do half the flying. So it was a ball. Oh, I just loved it, you know.
How high up do those go? Like 20,000 feet or something?
No, you don't want to go more than 12,500 and only for short amount of times. You don't stay around below 10,000.
Is that because you need thicker air or something?
You start passing out above 12.5. Your
The
brain doesn't work. It stops
oh,
working.
so the air's
12.5,
too thin.
30. Yeah. Yeah. Not enough O2.
Oh, I see. Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. You ever think
So
about
you're
doing a seaplane, or that seemed like that would be really
money,
fun.
money, money. Seaplane means more money than airplane. So you don't want that.
That'd be cool just to go to remote lakes in Alaska
Oh,
and
I
fishing. And
love it. Oh,
that'd
I'd
be
love
cool.
a seaplane. Yeah.
Too expensive.
Well, I'll start out low. I got lots to do with the land plane. Lots to do with it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Let's see. We got another question here. Did you ever meet Hurricane Dave?
yeah, I made great TV with Hurricane Dave. Are you kidding?
That's
Yep,
the
yep.
sponge
I love
diver
Hurricane.
from Florida, right?
No, no, no. He's the
Yeah.
nude diver.
The what diver?
The nude sponge diver. He does it in the
Oh,
nude.
nude.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
Honest
does
to
he?
God.
I
Honest to God. He does it in the nude. Yeah, he's told me when I met him last year, he says he strips down, he takes everything off and he goes down and he does it in the nude.
Except for his boots.
He must have fins on, I guess. Fins and a mask. But no, he's drop dead serious. He's like, yeah, I do it in the nude. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, what about those fish eating your noodle? You got a worm in it. He's like, no, they leave me alone. I'm like, all right, well, one of these days they won't. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
Hurricane Dave, he's a funny bastard. He's
Whoa. He's very intense.
he's intense. That's for sure. But you were there when he first came on, right?
When he first introduced himself to Vern, I was standing in back of Vern with my eyes wide open, just like, who is this guy? He's talking like mid-Victorian British or something like that. It was very formal approach to language, and it was like, what's going on here? Yeah, he caught my eye immediately.
Yeah, I don't know what happened for real, but on the TV show, it was all about the weight belt. He was like, "Oh, like where? I can't believe they don't have a weight belt." Blah blah blah, and he just kept on going on and
Yeah,
on.
yeah, there was that, and that he also didn't like our air compressor.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
flipped out
said that
about the air compressor.
the second time he came up when I was up there. He came to do it a second try, and same thing. He freaked out about the way our air system was, and he brought all these nuts and bolts and fittings, and he had like his own stuff, and he's like, I can't believe you dive on, you're gonna die, you're all gonna die. He went off. It was funny. I don't think they filmed any of that. It was just me and him inside the boat, and I think I got it on my GoPro and
Yeah,
made a video with it, but oh my god, it was funny as hell.
yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yep, yeah.
But the producers, I mean, who produces gold? Sean Palmeranke. So you got to give that credit to him. He's the gold king.
Yeah, he does it hardcore.
Yep.
He does it phew. Yeah, I've seen him in action, man. When he's mining, he'll mine for weeks on end and not even take a break. He just goes and goes and goes when the weather's good. And then when he's not in the ocean mining, he comes back home, and when he's home, he's mining on land and at home too. So, but yeah, he's a kick-ass miner, that's for sure. Him and
Yeah.
his old I see his old man. Even like last year, I would be, or the year before, I think, I'd be just driving around and going out back. It'll be like 2 in the morning, still daylight out, and I would see the old man and the big D9 dozer he's out there by himself, just like moving dirt. It was like 2 in the morning. I'm like, wow, the old man, he's definitely still got the gold fever.
Yeah.
You think
He's
he'd
funny.
ever retire, the old man?
Nah, it's in his blood. He loves it. I think he's gonna mine forever.
He's got a mine in northern Arizona.
Oh yeah, I've heard something. Yeah,
Yeah. So he'll mine there in the winter.
yeah. I think
No, we're gonna wait
Junior or
10 minutes.
Well,
Yarnell.
if you're not working under the ice or something, I wouldn't blame them at all for snowbirding in Arizona,
I would like to be in Arizona right now.
Yeah, yeah. I usually
Well,
head down there.
it's
Well, when they're
warmer. It's warmer in Alaska than it is here right now. I think it's 13 degrees with chill factor where I live.
Whoa. Whoa. Well, that's not Arizona though. See?
No, you're right. I am not in Arizona right now.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yep.
No, I'm in Mass, and I don't know. I think it's like probably like 38 degrees today or something. Probably
Okay.
same as you. It gets cold. It gets pretty damn cold up here, but not like
Warmer
Alaska.
on that side of the Appalachians than here too.
Yep. Let's see. We got another question here. This one's from Y Gold, metal detecting. Uh, so does the way Steve act on TV show really act in real life? So I think what he's trying to say is like, are you like, do you go into character when you're doing your thing on TV, or do you just kind of do your own thing, or?
I think the producers bring it out in me.
Yeah.
They coax it out in me, and then I do my thing, and then otherwise I'm fairly normal.
Yeah, fairly normal. Okay.
Yeah, but
So when you're doing when you're doing that stuff, like the last couple of years, they had you like going around Nome doing Steve's Wild World and stuff. Was any of that scripted, or was that totally just you go out and do your own thing, or?
I just go out and do my own thing. We had a lot of fun with that. That was extemporaneous. That wasn't very well planned.
So that was
just go out.
Just wing it.
I liked it when you went up to the antenna tower.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing when you're on the fence and the aliens, and I thought it was
totally I got on a alien scat, and I like aliens. I'm kind of a believer in aliens, even though there's still some mystery, but I do like aliens. And so I got on a big alien scat, and then I made up that thing about the antennas and about, that they advertise that hey, come get the gold, all that. I just made that up. Yeah, that was.
I thought it was funny. I was laughing my ass off when I saw that. So.
Good. That's good. That pays the bills.
Oh, yeah. You did all types of crazy stuff.
Yeah. I got into those. The little people. Remember by the creek, and it was snowy, and we saw the footprints. That was a little there. We scripted a little bit there.
Well, that's like a big thing in Nome. There's like how people believe in Bigfoot all around the world or whatever. In Nome, there's actually like little people, like little gnome people. And it's like it's not from us; it's from the natives, the Native Americans.
Oh yeah. Well, it was you got to have a core of truth somewhere in there. So it was from the little people. We also have that myth across the bay from Homer in Sildovia. There was the myth of the little people, the legends of the little people, I should say. Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it till I went to Nome, and they told me like it's a real thing. Like they believed in it for thousands of years. Like and they're supposed to do stuff, don't they do stuff like weird something?
Oh, yeah, that some of them are dangerous, some of them are mischief makers.
Yeah, they're like mischief kind of people, or kind of like Elf on the Shelf, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
They'll start messing with your stuff. They'll steal your boat motor, or they'll steal your anchor, or I don't know, they'll put water in your gas. They're mischief makers.
You ever see any weird alien stuff in Nome? Like, no.
No, I'm disappointed.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of disappointed. I haven't ever seen a UFO. Not well, yeah, never have, or an alien or anything like that. But I've seen
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah, I've never really seen anything weird, but maybe one of these days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Up in Nome, at least, I did see a gigantic triangle like in 1997. The thing that it looked like an aircraft carrier in the sky. It was just a giant black triangle, and it was only like 50
Cool.
feet above the tree line. Went right over us over the highway. And I know we weren't
Wow.
crazy because all the people on the highway pulled off. There was like a whole line of people pulled off into the highway, got out of the cars. We're looking at this thing, and I got out of the truck. I'm like, what
See?
the heck? It was huge. It was gigantic. But I don't know. I think it was
Well,
just I think it was an Air Force thing. I don't think it was an alien thing.
yeah, it
But
might have been. It might have been an Air Force thing, and the cloaking guy, the guy in the cloaking room, he was, taking a pee, and the controls went wrong, and then he got back and he recloaked to the triangle. See,
Yep.
that's what happens. Is it got manual cloaking? It doesn't. It's not automatic,
You probably
and so
forgot to turn it
that's
on.
why he forgot to turn it on.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Something.
All right, let's see. This one's from Johnny Turtle. Do the producers on BSG instigate arguments, fights, events, or do the individuals just make things happen?
Um.
Well, I guess it's more a question
Well.
is it scripted? Do they tell you what to do or say? Or
Um. Well, like I say, sometimes it's just what we do, and sometimes they have ideas and they tell us. Well, it's not totally scripted, but the suggestions are made and the opportunities are taken.
yeah,
So
okay.
if the producer sees an opportunity to push things, that yeah, he'll have you say things you might not say otherwise. So there's a little bit of that, I'd say.
I mean, so they won't like sit you down in like an office and say, "Okay, Steve, today you're gonna do this, this, and this," and like give you a worksheet or like,
Oh no, no. Just they might sit you down and say, we want you to be nice to this person and maybe not nice to that other person or something. They might make suggestions about that, or we don't want you to talk about this, or there's influencing going on for sure.
yeah,
But it's not really specific most of the time,
yeah. So
you
just
know.
kind of like they got like a storyline that they might want to accomplish, and they just want you to go in that direction.
Yeah, they'll want you, they'll point you.
You're still kind of free to say what you want to say and do what you want to do,
Yeah.
though. Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do they ever try to have you reenact something that happened naturally or actually
Yeah.
happened and they didn't catch it and they're like, "Oh, can you
Yeah.
reenact that?"
Yeah, that's a rare thing, but I think it's actually happened. Yeah. Uh-oh. I got grandchildren movement here.
Okay. You need
It's
Okay,
all
help
I'll
with
be
that?
right.
back.
Life
No, we're
happens.
fine.
We're all
Let me
good.
know.
Yeah.
No
So
problem if
yeah,
you need help.
huh.
Let's see.
I did fall in the water at one time at Zeke's and I fell in the hole. They
Uh-oh.
they didn't have me reenact it. I think they actually caught it, but it never got on TV.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
You
it was, it
fell in the ice
snowed
hole?
and what's that?
You fell in the ice hole?
Yeah, I fell in the ice hole.
Oh damn. With no wetsuit on or nothing?
No, I was pretty much wet right up to my crotch. I went in the snow, the snow had covered it. And I thought the hole was a little bit beyond where it was, and I stepped right in it. Just boom.
Damn.
And yeah, jumped on
That
my
was
snow machine and made it back to my hotel, my room in well, it wasn't a hotel, but my room. Made it back there, changed clothes, and went back to work.
oh, damn. Yeah,
Yeah.
that water's a little chilly, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm glad I didn't go all the way in. I mean, the snow stopped me, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd have been right up to here. I'd have been really concerned. But as it was, I was fine.
I just fell in for the first time this year, but it was summertime, thank God. But
Yeah. Oh.
But like what you're talking about earlier about the current, dude, I almost didn't make it back to the boat, and no one knew I fell over. I went
Oh,
to I went to go fill up the generator, and we had 3 people on the boat, but we had a diver down. I was on the comms, but I knew it was time to fill up the air generator, so I told the diver, "Hey, I'll be back in a couple minutes. I got to fill the air generator, right?" And the other 2 guys were sleeping. So then I went around back. I took the gas can and I went to go over to where the generator was, and we have 55-gallon drums of diesel fuel. But I forgot that I emptied one of them to fill the dredge motor, so it was completely empty. Because normally there's no railings or anything. I usually grab onto that when I go around, and because there was only like 6 inches space to like go on. And then a wave came, and I grabbed the barrel to like hold myself, right? And I had a gas can in my hand, and then boom, right over. I fell right in the damn ocean. And I'm trying to like swim back, and I'm getting farther away, and I had the 5-gallon gas can. And when I first fell in, dude, I went all the way under, and I started sinking. And I'm like, oh, trying to hold. I don't want to like let go of the gas can in the ocean, right? I don't want a big freaking oil spill. So I'm grabbing the can, still holding onto it, and I'm trying to like swim back, and I'm going backwards. And dude, that was freaky. But I eventually my shoes fell off. I lost those, and I'm just soaking wet in all these clothes trying to swim back. And that current was so strong, I just barely made it back, but I did. And
wow.
yeah, that was the first time I fell over. Was this year? That was this last summer.
Huh.
But yeah, following in, man. Oof.
Dangerous business. There's lots of ways to hang
Yeah,
it
yeah.
up.
Nobody knew I fell over, and I just barely made it back to the boat. That current was so strong. But yeah, I can see some people getting swept out to sea, you know. Let's see here. Terry Curry wants to know, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Oh, I don't have any spare time.
Oh, you don't have any.
Uh,
You got grandkids.
I got grandkids. I got a building project that I've since Discovery went away. I've started this building project back up. I live in Homer, but the building project is in Anchorage. I'm trying to build 4 houses and a triplex.
Wow.
So that's what I'm doing for my future. Working on that. I fly my airplane when I can for fun. That's pretty much all my energy, fun energy goes into that. I still downhill ski. I plan a couple downhill ski trips this winter.
Cool.
Nice.
My son-in-law, Emily's husband, is a skier, so we're gonna go. Emily's pregnant, so she can't ski.
Again?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, a
wow.
boy this time.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
What number grandkid will that be? Like 30?
16.
16.
Yeah.
You got to give away a lot of money in birthday cards.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Christmas kills me and all the
16 presents.
yeah,
Ooh.
all that. The
Wow.
bar is high.
How many kids did you have?
4.
You got 4 and 16 grand. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I know. It's wild.
That's because it's so cold up there. You guys get cabin fever for 8 months.
You stay in their cabin and you got your wife and there's not much to do. And what do you do? And then you forget. And then pretty soon you got another kid. Yeah.
Wow. So 16 kids. Wow. So Emily's she's gonna have a boy this time, huh?
Yeah, boy, this time.
When she do?
Good. Middle of January.
Oh, well, right before ice season.
Right, just right before ice season.
So she'll probably have Jane come back up and run the ice crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What do you think of Jane? Did you meet Jane?
Oh, I worked with Jane. That you've seen her on Emily's boat, ice boat. I was there too, the whole thing. I was there all the time, the whole season.
Yeah, that's right. That for the ice season that Jane came.
Babysat her. I babysat her quite a bit.
Yeah, it was you, Jane, Jeff, and what's that other kid's name? The bigger kid?
Oh, yeah.
I forget his name, but it was you guys, you four, right?
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
yeah. Not Dan. Darn it. He's a good guy. He's a good
Yeah, it's on
guy.
the tip of my tongue. I forget.
Korean. He's Korean.
He's Korean. I thought he was native.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oops.
I know. It's great. He fits right in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a cool guy. I see him a lot.
Yeah, he is.
All right, let's
Yeah.
see. Uh, do you watch Skinwalker of Blind Frog? Oh,
No.
The
that's a show. TV.
Skinwalker Ranch or Frog Ranch. They're a show
No, what's
about
that?
they're about it's a show about two ranches, and they're two different shows about aliens and strange activities and treasure in the Utah mountains.
Don't watch it.
No. Do you watch any
No.
gold shows?
No, I don't watch the gold shows either. No.
No.
I don't even
Okay.
watch Bering Sea Gold.
Oh, really? You don't? Yeah,
It
until you.
drives me nuts.
I haven't
Oh,
seen a couple. When I was on, I haven't seen like the last 2 or 3 episodes yet. I will
uh-huh.
somewhere. No, I know what you mean. It's weird seeing yourself on TV.
Well, they mix sometimes they mix things up so much it doesn't make I'm going crazy. It's like that didn't happen quite like that. What you've missed a little part of it. It's television, it's
The editing.
clipped. There's a lot on the the floor, a
Yeah.
lot that gets edited out, So yeah, I it's maybe because I'm too cheap to get Netflix. So that's probably a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
spend all my money on airplanes and land development
There you
and
go.
grandchildren. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't have any spare for Netflix.
So are you building the houses yourself?
No, I hope to contract
Oh,
them. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay. I wasn't sure if you're a
Do
woodworker.
all the planning, and then just find people to build them and sell them. I'll sell
Yeah, yeah.
uh most of them. I'll keep one or two.
There you go. Cool, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Ha this one's from Graveyard Prospecting. Have they ever had wildlife encounters under the water? Any seals or walruses or anything weird underwater?
No, well, no, not any like. Me personally, never any seals or walruses. Lots of fish, no eels. Apparently, there's a eel that will bite you, but we haven't even seen one. So a wolf eel,
Woolfield, yep, yep.
but we haven't. I've never seen one. So they're very shy. No, it's mostly pretty barren. The ocean, when it storms, the ocean just tears apart that area. It just eats it up because the wave action. So there's not a lot of life there. It's growing some, but not like a stable undersea area that doesn't have huge wave storms every 15 years or so. So
Yeah.
it eats it disrupts the whole ecosystem, those sands, those storms.
What
Yeah.
about on land? Polar bears, muskox, or mm, cougars,
Yep.
or anything like
Bears,
that?
bears come over at Steve's World or anything?
We had a couple brown bear through Steve's World, but that was at night. And we just saw the footprints. That's all. They were just sniffing around. A muskox. Now, I was going out and gathering the fur that the muskox scrape off their body onto the branches of the bushes, and I'd go collect it. And when you get near a muskox herd, they'll send one of the big males out to check you out. And at the time I was not in danger, but when this guy came trotting up, within 150 feet of me, I thought he was going to just keep coming. you know, but he just wanted to look at me, you know, like, hey, I see you, you're safe. You know, and turn around and he left. But I thought he was going to come stomp me, you know. I really did at first when I saw him coming. He was just trotting up, you know. And I thought, oh my God, here he comes! We start running. The filmographer's running. Pete, the filmographer, one of my favorite filmographers, he's running with me with the camera. Now and then we stop and look back. No, he's not coming. He's just sniffing you out. You
Yep.
know, that's all he was doing.
Actually, last year, one of the police officers got killed by muskox.
Yes,
Oh,
well,
wow.
he did some stupid things with dogs.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The
The
muskox
dogs.
got frightened. The dog I think was
Yeah.
chasing him.
Yeah, the dog was, and he got in between the dog and the muskox.
Yeah.
Not a good thing. Oh, muskox can be super dangerous and they can kill you, but you know, not like a bear
Yeah.
who wants to kill you. The muskox don't want to kill you, but they will.
Yeah. If they get frightened or
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of the dogs there. I know Sean's dog. Sean has this big old dog, and you know she walks all funny. I'm like, oh, what happened? And he's like, I got nailed by a muskox, and someone else's dog. It seems like all dogs over there, like they kind of mess with the muskox, but then they all get injured. All the dogs get like horned, you know.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
almost every single dog in Nome like walks funny, and because they learn their lesson the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, the muskox can't tell the difference between a dog and a wolf.
Yeah, they just get
So,
defensive.
so it
And
gets defensive.
Just horn you.
Yeah. Yep.
The weird thing I noticed in Nome is the foxes up there. For whatever reason, I hand fed like 4 of them. Like they all seem really like tame and like not afraid of people. And like I see foxes all the time around here, but they just run. They run away from you. But in Nome, I was feeding foxes bread. I mean, they'll come right up to you, and I don't know, for whatever reason they just seem super friendly. You know, more than one. Like I've seen probably 3 or 4 of them that would come kind of close to you, and
5 minutes.
that's kind of the weirdest animal thing I noticed in Nome. Strange.
It is.
Let's see. I think we're out of questions.
I got one coming from
okay.
MJ from my state of Washington.
There we go. OnlyPants. Steve, have you ever met Cody from the Christine Rose?
Oh yeah, many times.
Yeah, Cody's cool. He's really he's
Cody's
really
a
down to earth
cool
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Smart and hard worker, and heck, you know, what's not to like? He's great.
Yeah, he's good miner.
He
Good
seems
guy.
like
Yeah.
a good guy.
He's an engineer, knows his engineering.
Yeah, he's smart.
Yeah, well educated.
Yeah, he's not a. Damn, I don't think I maybe only seen him once at the bar like the 4 years that I've been up there. Like, I
Okay.
rarely see him partying. Like he's kind of keeps to himself, and he's probably one of the smartest ones up there. He doesn't go out and drink, spend all his money at the bar.
Well, wouldn't that be a smart thing to do, Brian? Is stay out of the bars?
Yeah, that'd be the smartest thing. But ask Gary Simpson if he's still here, if that's possible.
Gary, are you still here? Is that possible? Tell us, Gary. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, but that's where all the ladies hang out, you know. Because they know you're going to buy them a $10 drink.
Right, yeah, right.
Unless it's with Vern. If Vern's around, he pays. So if Vern ever offers you say, hey, Vern, we're going to the bar. You want to come? And then if Vern goes, you know he's going to pay. And as soon as he has 1 or 2 drinks, oh, man, he's buying drinks left and right. You guys want food? And he's like a sugar daddy.
Hey, I need another 10-minute break.
Okay. Not a problem, Steve.
That's so funny. That's so true about Vern, you know, because he loves to play the big guy at a bar where he's got all the money and all the attention and the girls love him. And
yeah,
that's Vern.
Sugar daddy.
Yep. Thank you, Vern.
Okay, I'll pin you up, Brian, again while he takes his break, and I need to readjust the zoom.
Whoa, I look weird.
Yeah, I need to readjust it. Oops. Because it changes all the time.
But no, that's true
The
about
joys
Vernon.
of live entertainment.
Yeah. No, Vernon's cool like that. Man, he's bought so many dinners, and usually when we come back from mining, the first thing he's like, "I'm buying dinner. Who wants to go?" And we're like, "Yeah." So yeah, Vernon, he buys dinner like all the time, and even for the camera guys, and
I
he's
like
really
Vern. He was a good guest every time he was on. When he was on with you and Gary Simpson,
yeah,
and when he's been on by himself with just, well, no, we had him on with you and Gary.
yep.
I'm trying to remember, Brian. I know it's been a couple of times.
Yeah, no, I think it was me, Gary, and Vernon were on.
Right, right. And then
Yep.
I had him on before, and I think you were on it then too.
I don't remember. I've been on
Maybe
it for quite
I
a few times.
don't. I'll have to look back at those episodes. Moon over Miami, good to see you. Most vicious prospector, how you doing, Joe? Uh,
But yeah, Vernon. So this year, Vernon, he had so they weren't filming this summer, so I don't know if everyone out there knows, but he kept calling me in the springtime, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna have this." He wanted to have the summer off because he's been in Nome for the last 10 years, in the summertime. So he kind of wanted to take the summer off. So he kept calling me and asking me if I would go up and pilot the boat and tend and kind of be the captain of the operation while he was gone this summer. So I did that from I went up there um, June 20th. I went there, and then we went up June 21st because I wanted to do all my mining in Maine. I like Maine. I always go to Maine every year, no matter what. It's one of my favorite places to go. So
Maine's
I went and did
beautiful.
that, and then right after then, yeah, I went up and Vern just showed me how to run the boat for like 2 weeks, and then Vernon took off, and we ran the operation, and we had an outstanding like first couple months. It was like 140 ounces we got, and that was probably one of the best seasons Vernon ever had. We just killed it.
Let me acknowledge Johnny Turtle with the
Oh yeah,
$10 super
Oh
chat.
yeah, super chat.
Thanks for
hell
the
yeah.
super chat, Johnny. I appreciate it. AU Diver 79, good to see you, Greg. Nice, nice. I'm gonna hit you up. See, even if you're not up there when I get up there, Heath Doty, ha, got it right? Heath Doty's been after me get back up to New England, and you know as well as I do, I would love to.
Where's my
Uh,
book go?
but I definitely want to get into Maine and into New Hampshire where I
Where do
could
you know where my book
actually
went?
dredge
Yeah,
Where
than
was it?
sneak using a sluice or a Green Mountain gold trap. You know what I mean? Like
It's
in
probably in the
Vermont.
yard.
But I
I
have
hope
to
I left it
admit,
in the
that
yard.
time we were up in
Did I?
Vermont at Adam's outing, Brian,
yep,
I did pretty good in Broad Brook for how little time I worked. And I
yeah,
remember that little brook, you were face down doing your sniping thing in the creek. You
yeah,
actually found some pickers that day, didn't you?
yeah. I gave them all away, but yeah, I found some little pickers. Yeah,
Well, if you ever want to give any gold away, Brian, you know where I live, buddy. You know where
yeah.
I live.
Yeah, no, Broadbrook. So Vermont has really, really good gold, but in Vermont they won't even let you sluice. They consider it a mechanized machine. Well, I don't know how they consider a sluice box a mechanized machine,
Yeah,
but they do.
it's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, they have crazy laws. And
Surprised they allow you to use a shovel. you know.
Yeah, yeah. So technically, I guess you're only supposed to pan, but I mean, everyone sluices up there, but they write tickets. That's the only place I've ever known that actually write tickets to prospectors, prospecting. Like even in California, people are dredging and they just kind of tell you to leave. They won't give you a ticket or nothing, but Vermont, I've been around all over the place, and Vermont's like the only place that will actually give out tickets for prospecting. But I think it's like $300 too, and I know a bunch of people that got them. But anyways, Vermont has like the most gold, like that I know. Like if you could dredge up there, man, you would just kill it. It's not big gold. They got a lot of small gold. Like don't expect pickers when you go to Vermont. Not big ones like 1 or 2 or 3 grammars.
Right.
There have been a few found, but generally it's just a lot of fine gold in Vermont. It's really fun for panning because if you pan, you get a lot of small gold in almost every
Now,
pan.
I've seen your collection of gold several times, Brian, and I have to say that main pile looks really, really
Yeah, yeah.
good.
Yeah, Maine's really good for nuggets, but the problem with Maine is they're all deep. Like there's nothing on the surface. Like if you go to streams in Maine, you'll get disappointed if you're just sluicing or panning. You get disappointed, pack up and leave. I don't know. I guess the gold in Maine just really old, so and it's bigger gold, so it just goes right down to the bottom, right down into the bedrock cracks. And even if you get down to the bedrock when you're dredging, you still won't find anything. You got to like jam crowbars into the bedrock and break it and get down into that bedrock, and then all of a sudden, boom, you'll find pickers all over the place.
Well, I know
And
you and Alex work really darn hard for what you get from
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put out some more videos. I just wanted to make sure we're kind of done with an area, but man, we're finding really good pieces of gold. Stay tuned to my YouTube, and you'll see some cool nuggets that we pulled out of there.
Nice, nice. Everybody,
Okay,
if
we'll
you don't
be right
know who
back.
Brian Wilder is, I don't know what's wrong with you. But Brian has the YouTube channel American Gold Prospectors. He does a lot of dredging, prospecting all over now. You've since I first met you, Brian, you've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah,
A
yeah, I've been
lot
all
of
over.
ground.
Just recently too, California, Nevada. I just added those to my list last winter. Arizona. But I went over to help James out, get his mine started last winter, and that was in Nevada. That was really cool because that was a big inland mine, which is I never really been to one or worked at one, so
I
that was
remember
neat.
you talking about that a little in our Zoom after party, after
Yeah,
Zoom parties. And
yep,
so,
yeah. He just got started last winter. He was bringing in all of his equipment and stuff. So when I was there, it was when was it? It was like in the middle of winter, and he was just starting to get his equipment in and get things rolling. And I don't think he actually started till about maybe 2 or 3 months ago. But he's James. He's the guy with the tattoos on his face. He works for the Kellys. He works on the excavator. He's the excavator operator for whoever doesn't know.
right.
But yeah, he has a big operation. He just started in Nevada. So he does both. He was in Nome this summer too. He just bought a small dredge, so he's diving and getting gold on. He has a claim up here too, so
Now,
he's working up here in Nevada, both places.
James, yeah, I've talked to him a few times. He comes into the Zoom parties quite often, actually. Terry
Yeah.
Curry's has a good suggestion for you that could come in really handy for you, Brian. You know what a Sierra Blaster is, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have
Actually,
you?
Gary Simpson just had a whole kit for sale. I should have bought it for like 5 grand, but he had all the drills and he had it was like I think he said he spent $13,000 on it. Yeah.
Hmm, wow,
But I
for
was a couple of days
five
late
grand?
responding to the message.
Oh man,
Yeah, yeah,
missed it by
yeah.
that much.
I just didn't see his message in time, but he was gonna ship it to me and everything. But yeah, to tell you the truth, I got massive winches that I use, and we just kind of winch the boulders. Like I never really where we are. I mean, they're like small like mini, I don't know, like golf cart size or 4-wheeler size boulders, but we're able to move them with our winches, and it's kind of faster just to put a net around it and winch it, and they just kind of roll over. And but the Sierra Blaster's cool. I haven't really needed to blow anything up, but it'd definitely be fun.
I like to blow things up.
I
Good
think
feedback.
every guy likes to blow stuff up.
Yeah, the Sierra Blaster, that's like a firecracker though. If I want to blow stuff up, I want a big explosions.
Oh,
Right? You can
What?
actually do that on your land in Maine, can't you, Brian?
Yeah, actually, well, probably like where I am in Starks, it's like a freedom town. Everyone at night, like all the neighbors are all shooting. Like all you hear is this sounds like Vietnam. Like every 6 o'clock at night, it's like people come home, they eat dinner, and then they go out and shoot. It's the funniest thing. It's like bow, 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 bow. It's
Wow.
like everyone has a shooting range in the yard, and they're like, you'll hear like fully automatic guns going off and stuff. People are crazy up there. Yeah,
Wow.
you'll hear explosions and stuff. It's like Wild West of the East, I guess.
Uh,
But it's cool. Yeah, like there's I even had the state forester lady come on. So I got 40 acres, and they had a free program where the forester comes out and she recommends, she takes a look at your woods, and she recommends what to thin out, make your woods better, and the trees grow better, and if you have any diseases or whatever on the trees. But anyway, she came out, and there's like we're talking about like rules and regulations and laws, because I got a few streams, and I was talking about culverts, and if I can use my excavator or backhoe to do anything, and because certain size streams you can't do that. And she was like, actually, this town here didn't register with the state. She's like, I can't enforce anything you do as the state forester. I can't write you up or give you tickets or do anything in this town, because the town didn't adopt into the state's regulations or something like that. So the forester herself said, pretty much, you can do whatever you want. I can't enforce it. So it's a weird town, but it's pretty cool. It's like a freedom town. You could do whatever you want.
sounds kind of like your town, Brian.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, you can build stuff, and you don't need building permits. You don't need plumbing permits. I mean, you just build whatever you want to build.
Maybe Maine should change their slogan with New Hampshire,
Yeah, live free or die. Yeah,
right?
but no, it's cool. Taxes on the 40 acres is like $400 a year. It's like super cheap.
That ain't bad at all.
No,
That ain't bad
Wow.
at all. All right, we
how's
got
land? How's land up in where you are, Steve? Is it expensive to get a few acres?
Yeah, it is. In Homer, it's a real touristy town, and a lot of the people from the U.S. they come up here and they buy a house or they buy land, and then it's their vacation place, and it's driven the prices up quite a bit here.
So you made a good investment.
Yeah, and yeah, so well, I have a little half acre here. I don't know, it's home. It's hardly an
I mean,
investment. It's just
the
what?
properties that you're building.
Oh yeah, in Anchorage. Oh, and well, in Anchorage, that's where I'm building. Anchorage is a very solid town. It has a good economy, and it's the center of the state, economic center of the state. So I think my investment there, it will pan out.
Oh yeah. There's gold there, right? In Anchorage? Or the
Nah,
Fairbanks?
no,
I think it's
north.
Fairbanks.
You got to go north, about no, about 70 miles north. There's
Yeah.
gold there, and platinum too.
Huh.
Platinum.
I was thinking of Fairbanks, not Anchorage.
Fairbanks is gold, has gold. Fairbanks, that's why they settled Fairbanks, was gold country. So
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So say if they start up this winter for ice season, and then they say, "Hey, Steve, we want you to come back. You going?"
Oh, yeah, of course. I
Yeah,
love it
you
up
would?
there. Oh, I come in a minute.
All right, I gotta
Oh, yeah.
talk to.
Yeah, I come in a minute. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I
Well,
love
if Emily's,
especially ice season.
yeah,
Yeah.
if Emily's having a baby, they're gonna need someone to run Emily's site.
Yeah, yeah.
Could be the
That's
Jane and Steve duo.
yeah. We now. Would you work for Vern, Brian?
I don't want to go to Nome at all for ice season, for mining. Hell no. I don't want nothing. Well, the problem is I don't have a place to stay. So
He
like in the
wants to
summertime,
be
I
on
stay
the
very
production side, Steve.
right. So I only go up there if I work for production. If I work for the TV crew, because they give me a truck, they give me a snowmobile, they
Right.
give me fuel, they give me a place to stay. I have my own room with heat. I can take a
With heat.
shower. There's running water. I can make cup of
Yeah.
coffee. But in the summertime, I kind of manage because it's summer. It's 50, 60 degrees up there in the summertime, so I could stay on Vernon's boat. But in the
Right.
wintertime, I got the boat's up high and dry on negative 30-degree weather, so I can't stay on the boat. And finding a place in Nome for an apartment, oh my god, it's like good luck with that. That's impossible.
Yeah.
And even if you do, I mean, you lived in that Tyvek palace and had like a closet space for like what, $1,000 or $1,500 or something.
No, it wasn't that bad actually. I'm trying to remember what I paid for 800. I paid 800 for it,
And how big
for
was
that
your room?
closet. It was a closet. Actually, he was going to make it into a closet, and I told him, "Hey, no, you could rent that room out." That was like 10 years ago, and I was the one that told him, and then I end up in there, so it worked out.
So you actually
Yeah,
you paid $800 and you got a closet space.
yeah, a closet space.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. A big
Yeah,
TV star living in a freaking closet.
yeah. Well, I'm cheap. I don't like to spend my money on places to live.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Me neither. So that's why I never went in the winter because I worked for Vern for those 2 seasons and he wanted me to go up for winter. He asked me for this winter, and I'm like, I don't think so. And plus, in the
Yeah,
wintertime, it's hard to get I mean, once you do an ice hole and you're on, it's not like summertime where if you're on a bad ground, you just move up on the anchors 20 feet or 30 feet. You can't do that in ice season. If you dig a hole that which takes you 3 or 4 days and move all your equipment and set up all your equipment on this hole, and you go down and there's no gold there, you got to spend another like 3 or 4 days, remove all your stuff, spend all that money on fuel and getting everything going in the morning. And wintertime's really, really hard unless you have really good GPS points from summertime.
right.
You know, uh, Wintertime's really tough. And then you never know where the
Yeah.
ice is going to break because you could go out there one day and there's a huge crack where all your stuff is and half your stuff's gone.
Ooh, that wouldn't be good. No.
Yeah, no, it's happened to a lot of people up there. It happened to McCully last winter. McCully went to go to his mining site and it broke off and went out to sea. Or was it Chris Kelly? I think it was one of the two, either Chris Kelly or McCully. One of them lost all their mining equipment, but they wound up getting it back. But wintertime's it's just so hard up there in the winter. But you can make gold. McCully, I saw it with my own eyes, and it wasn't just for TV. Last year, I think he got 100 ounces in just the 3 months. Or no, it was more than that. Maybe it was 150 or 200 ounces, or I don't know. McCully made a lot of gold for real. I saw it. I saw the clean outs. It was all legit.
Yeah.
I saw him mining, and I saw his sluice box. But he dredged a lot. He was out there dredging all the time.
How
But
many
yeah,
did he have on his crew?
I think he
many-
had 3 divers, and then he
So
died.
so he's running 3 divers,
Yeah, yeah,
and they worked their asses off, and they got a little bit of gold.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, by the
So,
time you split it with 4 guys, yeah, it's if you get 100 ounces and you split it 4 ways, yeah, that's 25 ounces. It's almost 50 grand. But living in Nome, though, that 50 grand goes real fast.
yeah,
And well, you don't get 50 grand because it's at 80% when you sell it. So, and then they got to pay royalties out of that too for the claim owner, which is McCully. So, and then usually you got to pay the boat. Let's see, we got a few more questions here. Let's see.
oh, all right.
Oh, damn, we got a lot of questions. Let's see where we leave off. All right, MVP most vicious prospectors. Does Steve have a wife? Are you married? Are you
No,
tied down? Oh, you're a free man?
no, no, I got a girlfriend.
Oh, you got a girl. Oh, okay.
That's kind of half being tied down. Yeah. Yeah. She lives in Soldotna. She lives
Okay.
north of here, 70 miles. It's a long distance relationship.
How long you guys been together?
Oh, about a year.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
You gonna get married?
Yeah.
Gonna get remarried one of
Oh,
these days?
no.
Have
No,
more
and I don't
grandkids?
think I'll remarry. No, 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 no. We're way
Uh,
past our birthing
Okay.
era of our lives. Both of us. Yeah, no, we're oh man, I wouldn't oh man, if I had another kid, I'd be like I would die. I mean, I would well, I ain't got that energy. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
20 Turtle. How much does the average diver make in a season in Nome?
Well, well, an average diver would make like negative $10,000.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Average diver would lose 10 grand. Now you've got your well-established operations now, and they're getting, let's say, they're having 400-ounce seasons, and they're one of four divers, so that's 100 ounces, and then 80%, like you said, and then that's 80 ounces, and then you split that in half with the boat, so that's 40 ounces, and so what's that? Is that $80,000, $70,000? So a good diver on a good boat is going to have between a 70 and $100,000 season.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's
It really depends on which boat you go on. There's a lot of people that just
yeah.
their boat's always broken. They don't really know how to mine. They don't go out. If they have a small boat, they can't really battle the seas that much, so they can rarely go out. But then you got the hardened known prospectors. Maybe not the ones on TV, but the guys that have been there for years and years, and they really try. Man, it just depends. But
Right.
typically, like so on Vern's boat, the way it works on his boat, so Vern owns his own claim, so he doesn't have to pay royalty. So the divers on his boat, normally you would have to pay like Emily's divers. Well, Emily herself doesn't own her claim, so she has to pay like a royalty. And a lot of the other divers, they got to pay or operations, they got to pay royalties unless you own a claim. But at least on Vern's,
Right.
Vernon owns his own claim, so when you pay royalties, it's usually 15%. So if you work with someone that owns their own claim, you won't have to pay that. So, like I'm saying, so on Vern's boat, so right away, the way that he works it is, Vernon gets 50% of everything. So if you make 100 ounces of gold, Vernon 50% goes to Vernon because he owns a claim, he owns a boat, he does all the paperwork, all the docking, blah blah blah. So then the divers, so say if you had two divers, the divers will split the other 50%. And then, well, then there's a tender fee. Usually there's a tender. The tender usually makes 10%. So like the 50 ounces on the diver side, because the tender works for the divers, the tender would take the 10% of the 50, and then the divers get paid the rest. But then the divers themselves, it depends on their hours too. So if you got one diver that doesn't work hard and he only does like 10 hours, but then the other diver does 20 hours, then you take that 50% and you split it by the hours that they worked. But a lot of time, like when me and Gary were diving together, we just split it 50-50 because we were very close. We're like, if we're only like 2 or 3 hours separate of each other, it's no big deal. We'll just do 50-50. But if like one diver's sick for a day or, drunk and doesn't show up or something. So,
Gary.
but yeah, that's how that works. So it's pretty much 50-50. So, the owner gets 50 and then the divers get 50, but it also just depends on what operation you're on. Cause I said, there could be royalties. And some people want to split the fuel with you. There's all types of things that happen in Nome, all types of backdoor deals up there. But I was up in Nome this year for 3 months. I came home. My share was 17 ounces in 3 months.
Nice.
So, if I was there all year, yeah, you can make good money, I guess, if you have your own boat and your own rules, and you can make even more, That's the best way to do it in Nome, I would say. Like that, I forget his last name, but his first name's Kevin, and he has that like real slimline dredge. He works by himself. It's like I think it's a 8-inch dredge, maybe. It's either 6 or 8, I forget. But he works by himself, and he just zips out there, goes down for like 2 or 3 hours, gets 2 or 3 ounces of gold, and goes back home with like 2 or 3 ounces of gold, to himself. It's like $6,000 he makes in a day. That's the way to do it. He doesn't have to split it with anyone.
That's the way to do it, huh?
Yeah. Let's see. Do any of you guys mine in Canada? I've never been to Canada. Have you? No.
No, one of Emily's crewmen used to mine illegally in Canada at night.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, he'd go up there because he was in Washington, right? Mining in Washington. And he'd go up at night illegally and mine at night in Canada, so they couldn't catch him, and they never caught him.
Wow. Yeah, no, I've never been to Canada. I would like to. I would like to go to the Yukon just to see the history and Dawson, and
Yeah.
on my bucket list to definitely go up there and with a just take my time with a camper and four-wheeler. And
sometime when you go through, you should check out Barkerville in British Columbia.
Yeah.
It has a real deep history in mining, Bryan.
Really? Yeah, I would love, one of these days, and I got the whole summer off and just want to. It's definitely on my bucket list to go up there for sure. I don't think you can really dredge up there. I don't know the rules. So I think some places you can dredge.
I think you can only dredge if you're incorporated in BC, and I hear permitting is quite the hassle.
I know Quebec's very dredger friendly. I don't know
Quebec is.
Yeah, I know Quebec is because I researched it. I was gonna go up there and maybe make some claims, but I never did because it's like 6 hours away from. I don't know. There's plenty of gold around here to have fun with. Let's see. This is AU Diver 79. Hey Bryan, I was always hoping to see you dredge for Emily. You are a great guy and she is awesome. Yeah, actually Emily asked me a few times to work for her, but I don't know. I've always just kind of worked for Vernon. I don't know. I'm just comfortable working over there. And plus, when I'm working for Vernon, I got a place to stay. If I work for Emily, I would have to get an apartment and all that, can't really stay on her boat.
She's got new crew quarters now, though.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she built. Her brother built her a 16 by 24 building this fall.
Oh, damn!
So now she's got 2 crew quarters. Yeah, 2. The she shack and then the new building.
Oh, damn! Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yep. No.
Yeah, no, she did ask me a few times. I don't know. I just always kind of went with Vernon. I don't know.
You like the excitement of Vernon, the excitement.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I get along with Vernon. I have no problem with him. He does yell a lot, but usually someone deserves it. Like he won't just yell at you for no reason. Like if you do something stupid, he'll yell at you. You know what I mean? Like he really doesn't yell at people. He just kind of yells. Like, if he's having a problem with the anchors, he'd be like, "God damn it, motherfucker!" Like he's yelling at the anchors. He's not really like yelling at a person. He does yell at people too, but usually you kind of deserve it because maybe you're being rude or you're doing something stupid or you're just being an idiot. Then yeah, he'll let loose on you. Like if you leave a gas can with the top off, that freaks him out. He'll definitely yell at you, because the water gets in there, and then. But I mean, he usually has a reason for yelling. I don't know, but for me, I don't know. I get along with Vernon. He doesn't really yell at me too much. I never really had a problem with him. He's never. He's probably one of the very fairest people I've ever met. I know he'll never screw me over. Very generous. I don't know. I think he's just one of those guys that.
He's generous. He's a generous man.
He's very generous, honest, down to earth. But yeah,
He sends me beautiful women. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Have either of you ever been to Pelican, Alaska?
No.
Never heard of it.
No, never been there.
Do you know where it is?
I don't think I could find it on a map. Pelican, not even sure I could find it on a map.
I don't know.
It must be a small town somewhere.
Does it have gold? Graveyard Prospecting wants to know, are the locals cool?
Well, no, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. I can't give the whole town cool. I think it's a mixed bag. I would give it half cool, half rascal, as actually.
Yeah. Depends where you are. In Front Street, if you're going on Front Street, there's fights. There's a blood all pool. I've seen so many pools of blood on Front Street. A lot of them just pass out and like hit their heads and just start bleeding all over the place. But like on Front Street and Friday night, you're like hopping over passed out people yelling, screaming, fighting, people with their pants hanging around their ankles because they don't know any better, using the bathroom right in front of everyone. Oh man, if you ever go past the ATM machine at the bank, because they get in there and get warm, I've seen some you can make a porno film what's going on at the ATM booth. They'll just do it right there. And I don't know, I've seen some crazy stuff on Front Street. I got a lot of pictures and videos too. But other than that, the locals that I come across, like not on Front Street, hanging out at all the bars and stuff, they seem really cool. I've met a lot of like really cool, they'll take you out fishing and hunting, and they're cool guys. But yeah, it's a mixed bag for sure. You got the ones that like to party and hang out on Front Street, and then you got your normal ones.
Well, there is the issue with, Nome is surrounded by dry villages. And so if the troublemakers want to make trouble in those villages, they just catch a flight to Nome where they can get booze. So it is influenced by that, because they're all dry villages surrounding Nome. So the people come to Nome to party, and then they stay. Because they can't find their way home.
That's what the biggest problem in Nome is, because there's 3 weed stores, and it's legal in Nome. You don't need a medical card or anything. So in Nome, there's like 3 or 4 bars. There's like 2 or 3 liquor stores, and then there's 3 weed stores, and then everything around Nome for like 1,000 miles is all dry. You can't get booze in any of it. It's actually illegal to even have booze in those towns. You can get in trouble, just having a bottle of booze. And a lot of people will actually come to Nome, get a whole bunch of bottles, and then go back. And I've heard like a bottle of like, $20 whiskey, the cheap stuff, the red cap, the really cheap, crappy stuff you can get in Nome, will go for like $300 or $400 in some of those dry villages. So people will, they come up here and, like you said, they'll just party and, kind of just get stuck in Nome because they can't get back home. But yeah, a lot of crazy stuff I've seen. AU Diver wants to know, do you make any royalties appearing on the show?
No.
Nope. Just a paycheck, right?
Just a kick in the ass. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got. I didn't get nothing from the show. Like you said, you worked for free. I worked for free too.
Right. Yeah.
So pretty much a way Bering Sea Gold works is all the major cast members get money, and then it's up to them to pay their divers or people who appear on TV and for wasting their time or whatever. So like Vern, in my case, like Vernon, he's the one on that will make the check from Discovery, and then if we spend all day like kind of making TV and not getting much mining done, he'll say, "Hey, I know you guys missed out today on your gold because we're there just to try to get gold." So Vernon will, he'll throw you a check, give you some couple bucks, and say, "Hey, thanks for making TV today. I know you didn't get much mining done and you lost some money, so he'll throw you a check." And I'm pretty sure the other cast members they do the same thing, like Emily and Zeke, and I'm sure that. No, I don't know. I don't know
Not
what
me.
anyone else does.
Hey, you're on your own.
Oh,
you
really?
know? Yeah. Well, well, I don't think TV never took up a whole day. You see, we never just, well, maybe one or two in the whole season, but
Yeah.
usually it's just an hour here, an hour there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's good. Vern's a good man that way. He's very
Yeah.
fair.
No. Yeah, he was
He is.
fair.
Very
Yeah,
fair man.
he was
Generous.
and mostly, like I was saying before, I mean, he bought so many dinners and food, and he'd take you to the bar sometimes. I mean, he probably spent his whole paycheck from Bering Sea Gold on just giving us food and drinks. Yeah, I don't know. But I've never gotten a check from Discovery or royalties or anything. I'm just really there to mine gold. Let's see. I heard only the captains get paid, so that's kind of the same thing. And yeah, that's pretty much true. There are some side cast members that might get, some stuff, a little bit, but it's mainly nothing, no big bucks or nothing, but it's mainly just the cast members that get paid. And like I said, it's up to the cast members to trickle it down to their divers or whatever. Graveyard Prospecting wants to know why don't you guys use scuba tanks?
I kind of mentioned it in the room. So did Thomas Folks.
Okay. I know I can say because nowhere in Nome you can't get scuba tanks filled, first of all. I
Yeah.
guess you could buy your own compressor and do it. But then you're kind of limited to like an hour. I think a scuba tank lasts about an hour, and then you would have to come up, switch tanks, go back down, and kind of waste time. So with the hookah system, you just put the mask on, and so long as the air compressor is running, you don't have to stop. You can just mine and mine and mine. You don't have to come up and down. Plus, when you come up and down, people like me that are sensitive, I mean, that's when your ears start busting and bleeding, and your nose bleeds, and you want to stay. If you dive, you want to stay down as long as possible and not come up and down, because that pressure really, really gets you. It pops your ears, and at least for me, I know some people are kind of immune to that, but
Yeah.
it does mess with you. All that pressure just going up and down the hose to like change scuba tanks would just waste kind of time, and it kind of messes with you going up and down constantly. At least with me, it did.
Huh.
And then yeah, you would just have to get the tanks filled all the time, and then I mean, you would need, if you have 3 divers, and I mean, if you're out there for days, you would need a lot of tanks, unless you had your own fill station, I guess. But it takes a very special compressor to fill them, because I think they go to 3,000 psi to fill a scuba tank. So, which they do make the compressors. So, but I don't know. Everyone just uses hookah. It's just easier, probably safer. That's my opinion. I don't know. I don't know if you have a different one, but
Well, I agree with all that. You're getting hot water anyway. Dry suits get cold and damp fast, and so you solve all your problems. You get hot water, you get air, you get communication, all in your umbilical. So it's very convenient, very, very convenient, fast, and cheap.
yeah. Next one, Terry Curry. How many cops do they have in Nome?
Well, a lot of worthless cops in Nome. They They don't have never done anything for me. They're I don't know where their head is, but I think there's 4 or 5 working there, but they're worthless. And then there's a local there that every time he gets drunk, he gets tasered, and he doesn't do anything. They just like to taser him. So I had the cops there. I mean, they're just basket cases. I don't like them. They're worthless.
Yeah, I've had a few encounters, not with me, but with some other people, like a lot of drunks. So one time, right in front of the PO, we call the production office. So there was this drunk guy, and he was like beating up his mother over like a credit card or something, and wasn't really beating her up, but kind of pushing her and like saying all the worst things I've ever heard in my life. Someone called their mother, yelling it in the middle of the street, and they worked their way up to where we were on, right in front of our steps, and then me and someone else we didn't want to hit the guy, because we're like working, so like I kind of stepped in and was like shouldering into him to try to keep him away from his mother, and the mother was crying and all this stuff. And then the lady that works for us, she went and called the police right away, because it was a big thing going on. And so in the meantime, me and another kid were like kind of muscling the guy, not trying to punch him or get in a fight, but holding him. And then the cops came and they're like, oh, well, we can't do anything because he's just drunk, and just let him walk it off. And then he passed out. He passed out right on the side of the street right there. And the cops like, oh, he's fine. He's passed out now. And then they left. They left. The guy just passed out on our property, like looks dead, and just laying in the middle of the sidewalk. And they're like, all right, he's fine. Okay, everything's cool now. That's what the cops do up there. And that happened more than once, that kind of situation. But yeah, they don't really arrest anyone, or they don't really do much. I got another story. It's kind of a long story, but it was just very quickly. It was the guys next to us on the New Horizon. So someone tried to steal their car before, and he went out with his gun and then like shot in the air to try to scare them. So it's a 44 Magnum. It was a loud shot. So boom, and like get out of the car, and the kid ran, and he ran underneath a building that has pilings. And he could see him in there, and he's pointing the gun at him. He's like, get out of the bed, give me, because he took his keys to the car. He's like, just give me the damn keys. That's all I want. I'll leave you alone. And, and cops came, and the guy's still pointing a gun at this kid. And the guy that's pointing the gun starts yelling at the cops. He's like, the kid's right there. He's like flashlighting him. He's like, all I want is my keys. And the cop's like, there's not much I can do, if he wants to give you the keys, he will. And the cop left. And the guy guy's like just shot in the air, has a gun on him, like pointing it at this kid. The cops are kind of weird up there. I don't know. And then, there's a state police station up there, but they kind of deal with the outside towns. They usually wind up going in the plains. Their home base is Nome, but they don't really patrol Nome.
There isn't no federal agency up there for like Indian communities and stuff.
No. I think they have their own kind of police. Because Nome's not really an Indian reservation, so it's like a regular town.
Well, I
So
mean around it.
Around in the other villages like Teller and stuff like that, they have their own like security patrol, but I don't think they're armed or anything. Because they have their own rules, like those towns don't have to. I don't know. It's kind of weird how I'm not really exactly sure, but
Like a
I think they're
nation
own,
within a nation,
like,
they do their own thing, have their
yeah, they
own
do their own
rules.
thing. But as far as like federal crimes, like if someone commits murder or something, there's in Nome they have a state police station, but so the state police will go out to those villages to handle like really big crimes and stuff, But the state police don't. I never really see them in Nome patrolling. But yeah, I don't know. The police kind of weird up there. They don't really do too much.
Mr. Lodak says they fly agents in. I forget where they fly them in from, but they have a prison there. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a prison because when Brad got in trouble, Brad Kelly, he was in the prison there for couple months or something like that. But yeah, they have a prison right there. And then after he got out, they part of his getting out release, he must have had to get a job. So I went in to get my groceries at Safeway there, and then went to the cash register, and there's Brad Kelly bagging the groceries. I'm like, no way. He's like, "Dude, if you laugh, I'll freaking kill you."
Did
That
you
was right
laugh?
after.
Well, it should be mentioned that Brad got in jail because when he woke up to being stabbed by his baby mama, his reaction was very violent and he beat her up. And so he went to jail. Well, in defense of him, I mean, if I woke up to my girlfriend stabbing me, I can't imagine what I would do to her.
No
I mean,
doubt. No doubt.
yeah. So it's take it easy on Brad.
Yeah, I've heard rumors. They're always kind of fighting and just.
Oh, she's batshit crazy though. I mean, they're both
Yeah,
batshit crazy. Both
Yeah,
of
I've heard
them.
that
But
it's kind of like a everyday thing.
yeah, it's an everyday thing with them.
Let's see here. I need to pee, Brian. Be right back. Oh wait, no, that's from that.
That's for me, Brian, a while back.
Let's see. AU Diver 79 wants to know: is it true that Vernon is a tanker ship captain?
Yeah. Well, in his career, yeah. In his past career, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. He did tons of oil, those big oil tankers, cruise ships. Yeah, he was a pilot. So anytime those big tankers came into port, they would he would show up on a pilot boat and then get up and take control of docking or bringing those big tankers into port and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and he did that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just gave up his license just last year or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I seen him. He was still doing some work last summer. I think he still did some kind of work doing it. He says he really loves doing it. The gold mining and being a sea captain. He loves it. So he's doing what he loves.
Talked a little about that when he was on with us that one time.
Yeah. He likes being on the ocean, that's for sure. This one's from Ray Russo. Oh wait, there's one before that. Graveyard Prospecting wants to know what's the guy's thoughts on the Sean versus Big Kelly fight.
First of all, you can't really be happy with Andy, who sucker punched Sean. I thought that was kind of low on his part, I thought it was low, but I think I smell some producers kind of like instigating, don't you? When that happened, some cameramen are going, "Yeah, go get him, Sean, go get him."
Maybe, but I know Sean pretty good, and I don't think he would let the producers like kind of dictate what he wants to do. Like Sean's gonna do what he wants to do, and
yeah,
I really don't see them pushing him to do that. I think Sean just kind of. I don't think Sean was expecting to fight those guys, to tell you the truth, until he got sucker punched. But I think he wanted to, confrontate him because they were on their, they went to exactly their dredge hole where they were dredging. Like the Kellys showed up, right where they're getting their gold, where Sean has been mining for years, So I could see Sean was really, really upset about the situation, and I think he went there to, yell at him like he did the previous time on the ice season when him and Andy, when they went to the bluffs and took Sean's spot at the bluffs. Remember that? And they just had a yelling, thing. And
right.
I kind of thinking that's what Sean was thinking. He was going to go and just, yell at him, give him a piece of his mind. But then he got sucker punched. Like, I don't know if any persuasion was done. Maybe they were persuaded Andy to sucker punch. I don't know. I wasn't.
Well, all the
whatever.
Kellys are kind of on the edge type like that anyway. So wouldn't it, from what I understand, wouldn't it be more like the producers kind of like nudging Andy on.
If anything, I think that's the way it went. Like, I don't think they egged Sean on to go do the fight.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, the people in the field, they're just camera guys. Like they just do that for a job. Like they're not just Bering Sea camera guys. They just got this job, and then they go on to do other jobs. They do like Jay Leno's Garage. They do medical shows. They're just camera guys, freelance camera guys. It's not like they work. They have that seasonal job at that production company, but they're not like dedicated to them. Like they move on, and they're all freelance. So it's not like they hardcore company men trying to get like this thing going on, you know? Um, so I don't know. There's no reasons really for the camera guys to push them that hard to, I don't know. That's just my own opinion. Maybe they did. You know, I don't know. I don't think so though. At least on Sean's side, like I don't see Sean being pushed by the camera guys. Like I think Sean really just went there to yell at him, and then he got sucker punched, and just didn't, you know, he had to fight back at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't ready to fight, you know, the way that he was fighting. Like if Sean was on this game ready to go fight, like he would have been on his game, I think. And you know, I don't know. That's my opinion.
Picture that.
Because I mean, it was a real sloppy fight on TV. I mean, nobody was ready for it. Like I think if
Right.
Sean was really pumped up and like, you know, he would have been ready, you know, been all ready to go, ready to have a good fight, you know, but you know, I don't know. That's my opinion on the fight. But it was what it was, you know, what you see on TV, that's what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys knew, I guess, something was building up because all of a sudden you had six cameramen run down to the dock to film this. So, because they got it at like every angle. So they knew something was brewing, but I don't think they knew it was going to be a fight. They knew it was going to be a yelling match for sure, but I don't know. Let's see. This one's from Ray Russo. What does Steve think about when he sees himself on TV? And Ray Russo, he's another TV guy. He was on
Ice Cold Gold, wasn't
or
it?
Cold Gold on the Weather Channel, so he knows
Cold
the
Gold.
TV thing too. So yeah, he wants to know what do you think about what when you see yourself
What
on
do I
TV?
think about when I see myself on TV? Well, a lot of things, you know, it's like, wow, like it was a dream, you know, like that's a dream. That was, you know, and what a wild time I had. And, you know, and what do I look like? You know, do I really look like a doofus like people think I look like? I don't see myself as a doofus, but I kind of look like one on TV. So, you know, I sort of think that, and then how fun it was and how fun it is to gold mine. And I think about that. So there's a lot of things that go on, I guess.
Do you get
Different
recognized a
thoughts.
lot? People come up to you like, "Oh my God, that's Steve Riedel!" Like when you're at the supermarket or something.
Well, back in the day, yeah, all the time, but
Yeah.
not much. Especially, you know, I don't have a beard anymore, so people don't recognize me as much.
Oh, okay. Well, they
And
probably
plus,
know you. I mean, you lived in the same town forever, right?
well, yeah, oh yeah, people, yeah, but people that recognize me in this town, they don't say anything.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's not important to them. Most people started watching Bering Sea Gold in this town when it was brand new, and now they don't usually watch TV, so they stop watching Bering Sea Gold. So, you know, it's not that important to them.
They
Yeah,
have
yeah.
more important things to do than sit and watch gold miners.
Yeah, because they're really not gold miners here. This isn't gold mining country here in Homer. We're fish and tourism.
Yeah. Huh. Ed, there's like 5 more questions. You want me to go through the questions,
Well,
or do you want to call
yeah.
time? Or
It's up to Steve if you don't mind a little more.
No, let's
oh,
go.
okay. Yeah, we got like 5 more. Hold on. No, I lost my place. Are there pelicans in Alaska?
No,
No pelicans?
not well. Maybe in the southeast, but I've never seen them ever.
No. I've never seen one. What are Steve's plans for the future?
Oh, four single families, a triplex. I'm planning to build or to contract in Anchorage. I'm looking for one point like 1.2 million, I think, or something like that, 1.5 million of cheap money. That's my plans. That's what I do. That's keeping me busy since Bering Sea Gold is this project.
Damn, you're gonna be loaded. You can be my sugar daddy.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad
I'll give
to.
you my birthday. You can send me a card.
Okay, I will. Yeah, hey.
Uh,
You're
full of
rich
gold wants to
already,
know.
Brian. What are you talking about?
Well, we kind of already went through this, but you can answer again real quick. So, how much of the show is staged or set up, or are you not allowed to say?
They
We
don't
kinda
tell
went
me
over
what
it.
to do. So, a lot of it's staged, but a lot of it just depends. A lot of it is this just what happened.
Yeah.
So I'd say sometimes 80% is staged, sometimes none of it.
Yeah. See,
Um,
on my side, the couple of years that I worked for him, not once was anything staged. I had to do a couple of reenactments. Like when my ears blew out, they weren't there to film it, so we reenacted that. But I only agreed because it really happened. So it's not like a stage thing. It's something that happened that they missed, and it was a big part of the story.
That's a lot like I brought up earlier, then, right,
Yeah.
Brian? Where something happens, they don't catch it, so they're like, hey, can you reenact it?
Yeah, no, there was a few of those, few minor ones that we had to reenact, but never once has anything been like planned or they asked me to do something or say, "Hey, today we need you to run out of air." Never any of that. It was just exactly. I mean, there's so much stuff going on that's really happening in real life. Like they don't need
yeah,
any. But I see
right.
on Steve's side, like Steve's side was like Steve was more like an entertainer, like doing his wild Steve thing, and
Right.
he had more of a different role than like the
I'm gonna ask
Goldminer.
something that hasn't even came up yet. Now, when you turned down the warm water in the water heater, and you were like, cold, what's that? Cold, more gold?
Gold is gold. Thank you very much. Cold is gold.
Cold
Cold
is
as gold.
gold, yeah.
Gold is gold. You work a little harder when you're cool. When you're cooled off. So I turned down the heat to cool the diver off because I thought that might make him work harder, to
Motivate
stay
him, huh?
warm and to get more gold.
So that
Cold
was
as
Yeah.
all
gold.
you and not
That
Fr-
was all Emily, actually. It
oh really?
was all Emily. Yeah, she's the one that I should do it.
You're throwing Emily right under the bus on that one.
Oh, boo boo.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
Yeah,
Emily's
Emily
watching right
suggested that
now, maybe.
I hope she's watching. Cold is gold. And if you come up early, I'll taser you and put you right back down in the water.
Oh boy.
Yeah, put the taser to you. Boom.
Didn't you
Right through the wetsuit.
didn't you think about making t-shirts and stickers? Cold as gold?
Yeah, you should.
I should. Actually, Emily's husband might make some for me, do that kind of work for me. Yeah, I'd love it.
That'd be perfect.
I'd love it.
Start
And then maybe
start a
me with
YouTube
a
channel.
taser too.
Start a
Well, I don't
YouTube
know about
channel.
that.
Cold as gold.
Gold is gold YouTube.
Yep. All right, this one's graveyard prospecting. Let's hear about it then. Are Chris and Andy really bullies? Is Sean a jerk?
Oh, Sean's not a jerk. I'll say that right away. He's wrapped up, busy, but so he's like he can't sit around and chit chat with you because he's a busy man. He's got an empire to run. So you don't really expect dudes that are as hooked up as him to be, sitting around chatting very much like Vern. Vern's already made his money. He's into the social life. So, but Andy and Chris are totally 100% bullies. Yeah, bullies. And the thing is, Andy can fight, but Chris can't fight. Chris is not a fighter. He's a bully. He bullies you. Hopefully that, yeah. Chris has had his ass kicked too many times. He's not a good fighter.
Yeah, me myself, I've had good. I don't know. I haven't spent a whole lot of time with Chris or Andy, but a little bit of time especially during the winter season when I got to kind of hang out in the shed a lot. I never had a problem. I thought they're cool. They're always nice to me. It was nice to them. But I haven't really worked with them or spent a lot of time with them. But I know Sean a little bit better because we stayed at his place a lot. I've seen him a lot in the shop, and Sean was really cool. Same as Vernon, very generous. He does a lot for the community. I've seen him help out so many people. Like during that storm, he was helping with his. He actually took the Christine Rose into the harbor, and he was cleaning up people's houses that broke loose, and he was using his excavator to help out. I've seen him take his equipment and like clear the roads and stuff. No, Sean's a really good guy. I've never seen him be a jerk to anyone. I've never seen him be mean to anyone. I don't know Sean all that well, but I did spend quite a bit of time. I don't know. I think Sean's one of the best guys out there because he could be a jerk and just take all that money and keep it for himself but he's like he sponsors the town softball team. He does a lot for the community. During Halloween he turned man camp into like a haunted house for the kids and stuff. I don't know. He's a really good guy, I think. I don't think they really show him as a jerk on TV.
No, but there shows some downright tear down fights between him and his dad.
Yeah, that's true. Him and his father, have issues, but yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing. That's definitely real. They definitely yell at each other. But then the very next day, they'll like Sean will have a party at his place, and the dad's there and kids there, and then they're getting along just fine. But yeah, no, they definitely have fights. Well, here's another one, but we already went over this. Gold Hunter 77. Steve, what was your scariest moment? But we kind of went over that earlier.
Yeah.
Just real quickly, what was it again? You
Well, I had
Training in
two.
the air.
I had two times with the air, and I think the first time was scariest because I was way out there under the ice and way out there. So
yeah, we went over that, but that was pretty much Steve ran out of air when he was like 85 feet from the ice hole. Brad Welch, what is the deepest you have ever worked the dredge?
me is 33 feet.
Yeah, that's about my max too.
Yeah, one atmosphere, pretty much one atmosphere. Yeah. It was kind of scary. It's dark down there.
Yeah, it's freaky. Yeah, it does get freaky because if you run out of air, you just know how you're just so deep, and you got lead weights on. Not only that, it's I don't know. I always had like a 7mm thick suit on, and then big huge gloves, big thick neoprene gloves. So like if there is an emergency, it's not like you feel right now. You ever see Christmas Story and the kid that's all wrapped up in the stuff trying to walk down that's what you feel like when you're in your dive suit, And not only that, so you have all the stuff and you have like 100-pound lead weight on you. So you take a breath and your mask just sucks to your face because there's no air. And you got these huge it's not like you can start like easily taking weight belts off. It's like you got to take your gloves off to like get to stuff and like try to get back up and I don't know, it's just freaky being that deep, just knowing that you have to go through that. It's just psychologically. Theoretically, we all should carry like bailout bottles and on Vernon's boat, at least we did have a second octopus line, which was really cool. So we had a whole separate air system and a whole separate line with a mouthpiece. But the problem with that is If you
Right.
run out of air, you have a full face mask, right? If you run out of air,
Right.
you got to take that whole mask off, and now you're blind. You can't see and you can't breathe, and that huge rush of cold, like 30-degree water hitting your face, kind of puts you in shock. And then you got to like feel around, try to find that octopus thing, and then you pop that in your mouth. Now at least you have air, but now you're still 33 feet down. You got air and you're blind. You can't see. There's just seawater in your
hold it. Well, you can see, but it's just not clear. It's not your vision is very impaired, but you can see objects,
I don't know. If you open your eyes down there, I don't know.
Absolutely.
No mask on?
My first, when I had a season of ice was Zeke's boat, Zeke's outfit, and then the second season of ice, I put together a whole operation. I hired Brad Kelly, and I hired Grant Wilkins and his friend and myself, and I instructed them all, and I did this too. We go down to the bottom of the ladder under ice, and we stabilize for a minute, and then you take off your mask, and you had to wait 30 seconds before you plugged in the bailout bottle. So you had to kind of go through this whole scenario of you running out of air, and then you got 30 seconds of fumbling around. Finally, you connect up, and then you had to wait for 2 minutes with the bailout bottle, and then you could surface. And all of us did that. Brad did it. I did it. And when I did it, when I took off my mask, my hood came off. So I had brain freeze. I had super brain freeze. Put the hood back on. I thought I was going to die.
Oh, man.
I mean, it was bad. Anyway, so I did that, and then I plugged myself in. And I think it's super important to practice safety procedures, what you might run into down there. So when you run into it, you don't panic and kill yourself.
No, that's true. I did that on my scuba test. We practiced it a whole bunch of times in the pool. We would take our mask off. But I mean, that was in a pool where it's warm water and, you're 8 feet deep or whatever.
Yeah.
And when we took our test, we did it in Boston Harbor. I think we're 30 feet deep. But then the thing with that is when we are on the test, there was like 15 people around you in case you had an emergency. Like, they'd come and help you out. But yeah, we had to take our mask off and then get our octopus and put it on. Yeah, I don't know. Up in Nome, though, I don't know if you have an emergency. It's just kind of freaky and scary, just being 33 feet. Luckily, I never had him. I mean, I ran out of air lots of times, but I was able to make it back. But I mean, I never had an instant where you just instant off air, like a line broke or something. In that case, it would just be freaky.
Does Nome have a good trauma center?
They have a hospital there, but yeah, I don't know how good the hospital is, but I don't know. Let's see. Mr. Lordak wants to know in your what is the biggest piece of gold Steve got to take home?
Most of the gold in the Bering Sea has been ground up by glaciers so much that there's a very rare to find a nugget.
Yeah.
The biggest nugget I ever had was just about this big at the end of my finger, right there, the end of my little finger. That's the biggest nugget. And I don't know of very many nuggets much bigger, not the Bering Sea.
Yeah. Now this summer, actually, because we dove 42 feet, 44 feet or something like that this past summer. And
wow.
We found bigger gold for the first time. The first 2 years I was out there, it's all super micro gold, very, very small, very, very few pickers. Like, and even if we did find a picker, it was like maybe a quarter gram. But actually, I got a jar over here. This year we got a bunch of like half grammers and 3/4 grammers, and I think my biggest one is 1.3 grams. We found a couple bigger, but I gave those to the divers because we split up the nuggets. I think the biggest one we got this year was maybe 3 grams. But Yeah, it's typically really ground up gold, very small. But deeper we went out, we were finding better stuff. But yeah, I mean, maybe a 3 grammer is the biggest that we've ever found. They showed a few on TV from I don't know if, I forget which cast members, but they claim to find big ones. I don't know if that's true or not. I kind of find it hard to believe because I spent 3 years out there, only found a 3 grammer, but you never know.
Oh,
Full of gold wants to
3
know, would you go work for Tony Beats?
Tony Beats? Yeah, in a minute. Absolutely.
Yeah, he runs that big operation in Yukon.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't really dredge out there, but
Oh, sure.
he's
His
kind of like
bucket
Vernon though.
line dredge.
I think he yells a lot like Vernon.
Well, hey, I'm halfway to being a cat skinner. I got, I don't know, 15, 20 hours in a cat, and I got 150 hours in an excavator. So, I mean, I'm a
There you go.
good beginner.
Think you
So
could
what the
that
heck?
wash plant? You got
No,
the-
I did this stuff on my own, other places.
No,
I
I mean,
never
if you
run a
work
wash
for
plant.
Tony, you think you could put it right in that
Oh,
wash plant?
absolutely. Oh, I could put it right in the wash plant. Oh, I could. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I could. I picked up tennis balls with a excavator now. Picked up
Dang.
tennis balls, put them in. Pick them up and put them into the basket. I did that.
Jeez, that's good. Oh,
Yeah.
In
I'm
a
just
year,
learning.
he'll be opening up pop bottles with the
Yeah.
No, not for a
teeth.
few years. Not for a few years.
Miss
Yeah.
Lodek, so are there more kids than adults in Nome?
Brown chicken, brown cow.
No, I think I told him the stories before. So like in Nome, there's like the Nome people, they just have so many kids, and it's just a small town that the kids just all run around and they're all by themselves. Like I've seen so many like 5 and 6 year old kids like pushing baby carriages around and stuff, the little brothers and sisters. They're just free range up there, so you just see so many kids, and there's no bedtime. And then like you get out of the bar, like if you go drinking or whatever, you get out of the bar, it's like 1 in the morning, dude. You're like
Yeah.
dodging, have one eye over, you like try to dodge like kids all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, up there, the women, man, they have a lot of kids. They're big families in them. Like all the natives, they just keep pumping them out.
Well, there's something cultural going on
Yeah.
there, Brian.
Yeah, I think it's a
I
culture.
might remind you about. Yeah. Yeah. Well, in the native culture, um, in Alaska in the summer, it was the time to work, and you had to work your butt off all summer hard because winter was coming and there was very little food. So the life there was really, really hard before whites came with the technology and kind of softened things up. I mean, it's hard enough in Nome now with our technology, but in the day, it was super hard. And so they let the kids have kind of a life that they didn't work. They just let them goof off. But then as soon as they were 11, 12, 13, the curtain dropped and it was time to work. So traditionally in the native culture, the young children are just free. They just let them have a little happy life, because it's going to get tough.
Yeah. Well, the thing too in Nome is for the natives, like back in the day, if you think about it, all the food up there is huge. Like they did a lot of whaling. Whales, thousands of pounds, and walruses,
Yeah.
they would walruses, those are 2,000 pounds. Muskox, moose. If you think about it, the animals up in Nome, they're huge, they're big, grizzly bears. So when they went out hunting, they usually had plenty to share with the whole community. So so long as people bag these big animals, they could have big families, big communities, because they shared the food. And if someone got a whale, it probably kept the whole village fed for months. But yeah, no, there's a lot of kids in Nome. They're everywhere.
They do. They free range.
Yeah, and there's no bedtime. I mean, be like 2 in the morning, dude. That they're in the playground swinging. It's funny, because it's still light time, like at least in the summer. That's how they communicate. I don't know what that question means. Last one here. Full of gold. Will the sea ever be mined out because you're limited to how deep you can dive?
Well,
I
then we'll just
doubt
get a
it.
machine that we can go 80 feet. The
Crawler.
Casa de Paga, it mines at 60 and 80 feet. So you just have to eliminate the diver. Go
Yep.
with the remote.
And
Yeah, so
what
pretty
I
much right
understand,
now. I'll go ahead, Ed.
from what I understand of the Bering Sea and ocean in general, you have storms, right? And it reconcentrates the beach along with the ocean bottom, and so brings up what gold was deep before it overturns. Like, say we have a massive flood and it moves the whole stream bottom instead of a smaller flood that only moves a few inches of the stream bottom. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
I
no, I get you. I really haven't noticed that like at 30 feet. Like we dove after a couple of really big storms and you'll have sand like move, like light sand will kind of move in on what was once gravel fields and now you go to dive and it's a sandbar or something. But I don't think I mean close to shore, yeah, I mean definitely pummels the shoreline, but like once you start getting like a half mile out into like 30 feet of water,
true.
I really don't think the gravel doesn't really move or the gold, I don't think too much. So once an area has been kind of dredged, it's kind of mined out.
It's done. Yeah.
Unless you get closer to the beach, then yeah, that gold moves a lot. Um, but pretty much what I kind of see happening now in Nome is you know, most of these divers they can only dive up to 32 feet because that's your one atmosphere, right? So pretty much from the beach to 32 feet has really been pretty heavily mined. So the next kind of thing is going on is they want to go over 32 feet because that section really hasn't been hit too much. And the only way to really do that is to either do what Vernon did this year, which was get the nitrox system. So now our divers can go, 45 feet is what we're diving this year because we had the nitrox system, which just pumps more oxygen into the divers so they can go down longer. But you're still limited to, I think it was 3 hours and 20 minutes. You can't dive more than that. And then the diver has to take 3 hours and 20 minutes off before they could dive again. So you're kind
Right.
of limited even with nitrox. But what I see happening, the new thing is the crawlers, because the crawlers they can go down at any depth from 10 feet to 50 or 60 feet. So there's been a couple crawlers now in Nome that have been running for like 10 years and they keep coming back every year and they never tell anyone what they're getting, but I know they're getting a lot. Those guys are rich, they're getting a lot of gold. Um, but now you see Vernon. Vernon just bought a crawler. Chris McCulley just bought a crawler, and then the Kellys just got a crawler. So the next step you're going to start seeing in Nome is people with crawlers, and they can go and get the deeper gold. So the next gold rush is that 35 to 45, 50 feet range, which really hasn't been hit in Nome. But everything below the 30 feet has been really hammered. Just like a main prospecting stream in your hometown that you go, it's just been hammered and hammered and hammered. That's what Nome looks like at 30 feet. But the 40-foot line is kind of still virgin. So you'll be seeing like a kind of a gold rush of crawlers. That's what I think.
I could see that. I could see that. Um, well, we're a half hour into overtime. I greatly appreciate it, Steve. But unfortunately, I gotta wake up really early. Unlike
Mm,
Brian, you know.
mm.
Unlike my friend Brian here, huh, Brian?
Nah,
Brian
I got
doesn't need to wake up.
I,
I got
Brian's
I,
already awake.
yeah,
I
I
got a
know,
couple days
Moto.
tomorrow.
I know. Ed. Um, I appreciate you coming on and joining Brian and I tonight. I've been requested already to try and get you back again in the future, if that would be possible. If you had a good enough time to come back, that is.
Absolutely, Ed. I'll come back.
Oh, it was a good show. We got to prove everyone tonight that Steve is a normal guy. He's not completely insane.
Right.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, he's pretty normal.
No guarantees tomorrow.
Right. All of you out there, thank you very much for joining Bryan, Steve, and myself tonight. It was awesome having all of you here. Next week is Open Line Tuesday, so you never know who might call in. And on that note, geez, I hate to say it, but I have to. Shoot, I almost messed it up. Until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan. And you know what I like to say, right, Bryan? Because it does happen.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, too, we'll
Meet you.
meet you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless. Love you all. See you next
See ya.
time. We're out of here.
Good
Later.
night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you all very much.